welcome Oil Country to the hallway where the Edmonton Oilers will be walking out and skating out onto the ice for warm-up in a few short moments, as well for puck drop in game number 2 as they look to even up this second-round series against the Vancouver Canucks. Welcome to the Oilers Plus Live pregame show. My name is Tony Barr. Thanks so much, Oil Country, for making us a part of your Friday evening. Now, Stuart Skinner, he looks for a big bounce-back performance, allowed 5 goals in Wednesday's Game 1 loss. And Connor McDavid, well, it was the first time that the Oilers captain was held without a shot in his playoff career. I'm definitely expecting a massive bounce-back performance from both of those players as they look to bring it, much like the Oil Country faithful right here in Vancouver. They're ready to go at Rogers Arena, and so are your Edmonton Oilers. And you can see it right here on the inscription on the puck. It's round number 2, game number 2. And let's see how the Edmonton Oilers will be stacking up with tonight's projected lineup. It will be Warren Foegele on the top line alongside Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. And you'll notice that Sam Gagner is currently occupying the second line center spot. We do not expect number 89 to come in. Instead, we expect number 29 to stay in the lineup. Of course, a lot of circulation and conversations about if Leon Draisaitl will be good to go. He will be taking warm-up, and my expectation is that number 29 is in the lineup. Stuart Skinner looks to bounce back, as he always seemingly does after a tough performance, as he put it on Wednesday night. But one man who never has a tough performance, our very own 630 Ched's Bob Stauffer with the preview on tonight's matchup. Bob?
Well, thank you, Tony. There's an old saying in the radio business, go to the mouth of the lion, which means go to the number one story. All eyes, obviously, are going to be on Leon Draisaitl. Whether or not he's going to be able to go tonight. He has a history of playing through injury. The joke is he has the pain threshold of a cadaver. And we used to say that about Jason Smith when he was the Oilers captain back in the day as well. I would not be surprised if Draisaitl were to will himself into this game. He has that sort of ability and toughness. Some guys can't play hurt, other guys can. And just think back to the 2022 playoffs when in Game 6 against the LA Kings, Leon, if you're a Kings fan, you would say he collided into Mikey Anderson. If you're an Oilers partisan, you would say he was slew-footed or leg-whipped and appeared to roll his ankle, played Game 7 in Edmonton, and then went out and set an NHL record in a 5-game series with 17 points against
synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features. Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit skysignaturesuites.com for details.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Exclusive NHL broadcast. There he shoots and scores.
Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores.
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes.
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Just a gorgeous week in Vancouver, British Columbia. Nothing but sunshine in the air today. Plus 25 and inside 19,000 1,000 crammed into Rogers Arena to see if Vancouver can take a 2-games-to-none lead in this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal. Alongside Bob Stauffer, I'm Jack Michaels from high atop Rogers Arena, where Connor McDavid will center Leon Draisaitl and Zach Hyman to begin this game. Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard on the blue line, and Stuart Skinner in net. Your starting lineup's brought to you by Coventry Homes. And here we go. Puck drop, game 2. And McDavid wins the face-off from J.T. Miller. We remind everyone that Coventry's the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. Here's Draisaitl, one-timer ripped by McDavid, who did not have a shot for the first time in 55 playoff games on Wednesday in the 5-4 loss. A swing and a miss for McDavid, and the Canucks able to clear, immediately chopped back in by Evan Bouchard. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman swoop in. Miller under control for the Canucks will clear up to Carson Soucy, who begins the game alongside Tyler Myers. And the number 1 line for Vancouver began the game, though they'll change off a dump in from Besser, who plays with Miller and Pius Suter. Bouchard directing traffic from behind Stuart Skinner. The Oilers left to right in the white jerseys, orange and blue trim. And Artur Shilovs, the 23-year-old rookie, able to cover. And early on, it's going to be Fogle playing with Kane and Kane and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in the middle. So a bit of a change from what we saw in terms of the line rushes, with Warren Fogle playing on the right side of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and that means Adam Henrique, who does draw in tonight along with Leon Draisaitl. Those were the question marks. Adam Henrique will play with McLeod and Perry. And now darting up the right-hand side is Connor Garland, brushed back the other way by Fogle, defending his own blue line. Nugent-Hopkins locates Darnell Nurse, playing with CC tonight. They had a rough outing in Game 1 as Edmonton coughed up a 4-1 lead with 23 minutes to go. Dakota Joshua, second 3-point game of the year, reversed. Kane thought he was tripped. No penalty was called. Nudged ahead to Connor Garland, who had the game winner, but here he turns it over to Nurse. And now Corey Perry belted and dropped by Nikita Zadorov. And Zadorov is a heavy presence and then just got smoked by Kane. Those two have been going at it. Here's Connor Garland into the zone with a shot that Skinner flicks aside. Rebound, swing and a miss for Elias Pettersson, who kicks it back to Quinn Hughes. Now Pettersson under control for the Vancouver Canucks. He'll put it down low looking for Höglander. Now you've got Pettersson trying to duck his way inside on Vinny Desharnais, who eventually clears it to the left-hand side. Brett Kulak, and it's chipped back to center. Handled by Vancouver's Ilya Mikheyev. Quinn Hughes whiffed on an outlet pass, and it's a reset for the Vancouver Canucks in their own zone. Rifled up, Di Giuseppe did not get a puck touch there, and Ekholm drifts back to draw the icing call. 2 minutes, 18 seconds gone by in this first period. Canucks in the blue and green with white numerals, and they'll be looking at a face-off to the right of Shilovs, and Edmonton wastes no time in getting its top unit out there. Draisaitl and Hyman calling signals with their center iceman, Connor McDavid.
Henrique's averaging 15.52 per game, Jack. I'll be surprised if he's over 12 minutes in this one.
Well, again, I don't think he's playing close to 100%. We were less sure of his presence in the lineup than Draisaitl. So off the face-off, the Canucks clear to center. McDavid brings it back in and got popped immediately by Di Giuseppe. Quinn Hughes up to center ice, and he'll hustle it into the offensive zone. J.T. Miller crowding, but a quick clear for Zach Hyman on the right-hand side. He hits center ice, and now from the Canucks blue line, he'll dump it in. Tyler Myers dashes over to challenge Draisaitl and McDavid. It's immediately reversed to Hyman. 9 goals in the playoffs, and he fired one off of Myers, and that skipped out of play, and Hyman paid for that shot release. Our referees tonight are Eric Furlot and Kelly Sutherland, linesmen Brandon Golritz and Kyle Murchison. 3 minutes gone by, scoreless in the first period. This is game 2 of this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal. Canucks with 3 unanswered goals over the final 11 minutes of regulation on Wednesday night to take game 1.
And they've come out physical again.
Ryan between Holloway and Janmark playing the right-hand side on this line. Nurse and Ceci defensively, O-zone draw. Face-off won cleanly by Ryan. Nurse takes a shot and a save made by Shelox. The rebound directed up the left-hand side for Joshua. His lateral clear is going to be picked up by Hughes and played back to Philip Roenick, who in his first year in Vancouver reeled off 48 points, a career high. Sent in deep by Connor Garland. Skinner will leave it for Darnell Nurse. Here's the cat calls from the 19,000 or so inside Rogers Arena tonight. Nurse up the left-hand side. Sheloff's out to handle it for Vancouver. Edmonton has won only 1 out of 10 series where they've been down 2 games to none. That was the second round in 2006 when they won 4 in a row to knock off San Jose. Janmark, lead pass, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he'll shoot it in. Shovel to the corner by Sheloffs, and now a reach, and no penalty was called against Nugent. No, it was. Nugent-Hopkins, backside official. Kelly Sutherland got it. The one nearest to Nugent-Hopkins did not call that. That was Eric Furlat, but Sutherland from the backside came in, and Nugent-Hopkins will indeed go to the box for a trip at 3:53 of this first period.
That's penalty.
I thought he had gotten away with it, Bob, but Sutherland came in from the backside.
Well, if that's going to be the standard, there should be some power plays each way. Draisaitl's going to have to take the draw here with Henrique, or with Janmark. Left side draw, Draisaitl's 57%.
Napa Auto Parts penalty kill. A perfect 15 out of 15 in the postseason. No Oiler team has ever done that. Ekholm and Desharnais round out the penalty-killing unit. And off the draw, won by Draisaitl. It's sent down the ice by Ekholm. Vancouver's 0 for 11 on home ice on the power play in these playoffs. Pettersson to J.T. Miller. Quinn Hughes, high slot. Miller, cross ice. One-timer score. Pettersson with just his second goal in 21 games. And boy, did he need that. Miller, a beautiful look. And Vancouver leads barely 4 minutes into this game, 1-0.
Oh, it's a heck of a look from J.T. Miller. I mean, they got some great players, too. And you said it, Pettersson have been quiet. Just 1 goal in his last 20. And the Canucks are up early. And Connor's already saying, Kelly Sutherland, of course, the Oilers had Steve Pizzari last game. He worked the game in Dallas, and there's history with Pizzari and the Oilers. Some would say there's history with Sutherland and the Canucks. That was a nice play.
First power play goal given up by Edmonton in this postseason. And Miller, a brilliant delivery. Pettersson, a one-timer, and Skinner, no chance. Off the draw, it's sent in deep. Ekholm, an attempted clear taken by Miller. He's back out of the offensive zone. Throws it across for Brock Besser. He'll shovel it down low. Ekholm was popped. Oilers come up with a puck. It's McDavid, the outlet for Zach Hyman. Tries to shake free of Carson Soucy. Down low, Ekholm. Dishing it up. Draisaitl tried to center. That was deflected. Hyman kept it alive. Draisaitl put it behind the net for McDavid. Tried to center. That was interrupted. Good play by Myers, reading where that puck was going. Intended for Hyman. And it's popped up the left-hand side by Suter as Miller makes sure there's no icing. By the way, the second assist on that scoring play goes to Quinn Hughes, who led all NHL defensemen with 91 points during the regular season. Check it, 92. Kane to Brett Kulak. Edmonton with a puck in the neutral zone. Desharnais will shoot it in. Canucks wheel it around the boards. Garland after it. Desharnais tried to hold the zone. Garland's second effort, and he sends it dovetailing ahead to Ian Cole. He was involved in nearly everything in Game 1. Here he fires one high and wide. That eluded Garland, and here come the Oilers. Warren Foegele left to right. The pass off target for Nugent-Hopkins, and finally clubbed in by Evander Kane. Left for Nikita Zadorov by goaltender Artur Shelox. Steal by Adam Henrique. Again playing with Perry and Ryan McLeod. And all kinds of bodies crashing into one another in the far corner. Out of the fray comes Ilya Mikheyev. In over the line. Left circle. Gliding behind the net. Surveying and moving it out to the point for Roenick. Now you've got Quinn Hughes. A dash to the left. Perry a healthy swipe at him and a big hit by Nurse on Pedersen. He went into the end board, shaken up, and then Nurse drilled him again. Two big hits by Darnell Nurse on Pedersen, and the Oilers come the other way. Let's mark that down, Bob, as maybe the turning point of the series. Roenick a big check on Ryan McLeod. Perry booted it behind the net. Nurse was asked about no hits in game one. Well, he delivered two mighty pops on Elias Pettersson moments ago. Hughes up the right-hand side. Battling for it is Teddy Bluger. He'll force it to center. Carried back in by Bouchard. Showed Slapper. And then elected to tuck it around the boards for Connor McDavid. 7 minutes gone by in the first period. We'll see whether those Nurse hits change the complexion of this one. Bouchard slide step to his right against Mikheyev. Now it's McDavid rolling inside, dropping it off. And now you've got Hyman weaving. Pressure by DiGiuseppe. Good matchup here for the Oilers. Hyman, McDavid, fourth line out for Vancouver. McDavid will leave it for Leon Draisaitl against DiGiuseppe and Bluger. Bouchard shot deflected away by Roenick, but borrowing inside, Hyman to regain possession of the puck. Bouchard takes it again. One-timer Ekholm. Didn't get much on it. Fluttered into the corner. Draisaitl. This shift has kind of changed things and followed up what Nurse did. Here's a little tuck over to Ekholm. Fought the puck a little bit. Chance to clear. And Vancouver will be guilty of icing. Mikheyev, a panicky move there up the left-hand side. He had a lot of room there and did not just put some bark on that puck. Instead, the icing call allows Nugent-Hopkins, Kane, and Foegele to dictate where the faceoff will be held.
That's a tough, hard hit by Darnell Nurse. He got out.
And then he drilled him again. He went right back at him.
Yep.
Now, in fairness, Pedersen did duck his head after the hit.
Yeah.
Instead of getting his forearm up to kind of brace himself against the plexi. Nugent-Hopkins against Bluger. This Canucks line has been out there a while, and Mikheyev failed clear. A shot tipped. Stays within the playing surface, so no change enabled for the Canucks. Nugent-Hopkins to Kulak. Sent it down low. Shelov's had a chance to cover that, Bob. I don't know why he didn't with a tired five-man unit out there. Now, a tip by Mikheyev sends the puck flying out of play on a cross-seamer from Desharnais, and the Canucks will get a most-needed line change. 11:44 to go in the first period. Power play goal for Elias Pettersson from Miller and Hughes, and Vancouver leads Game 2, 1-0. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Live from Rogers Arena in Vancouver, BC. The Oilers Radio Network.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman on for an offensive zone face-off to the right of Shelovs. Vancouver counters with Lindholm, who's beaten off the draw by McDavid. Lindholm out there with Miller and Hugh Suter. Shoveled down low, and that puck ends up going out of play. And we'll do it again to the right side of Shelovs. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you live in Vancouver. Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown back at our 630 CHED Studios, flagship home of the Oilers Radio Network, where we'll all return on Sunday evening. That's going to be a 7:30 start time. Bob and I suspect a 7:50 face-off at Rogers Place for Game 3. Game 4 likewise, same time, and that'll be a Tuesday night start. Off the draw, shoveled down low, Ekholm. Back behind. Lindholm unable to grab the puck from McDavid, who protects. Here's a rip by Bouchard, right point, that was blocked by Soucy, and coming away with the puck is Hugh Suter. Ekholm had the stick whacked out of his hand as the Canucks dump it in. No penalty was called. Bouchard up the right-hand side, a big hit by Soucy on Hyman. Loose puck at center and grabbed by Bouchard. Well, if you're not going to call Nurse, you can't call Soucy for that. Here's Bouchard through the middle. In over the line. Fired across. Draisaitl to McDavid. Shoveled down low by Ekholm, looking for Hyman. Soucy after the puck. He's able to reverse. Up the left-hand boards. Besser can't get there. McDavid does. Comes off the half wall. Looks for a teammate. Has Draisaitl a shot. Deflected. Hyman a backhander to save Shelovs. Rebound Draisaitl. And I believe a penalty was drawn by Zach Hyman on that move to the middle. Hooking against Vancouver. And Tyler Myers will go to the box. And Edmonton's vaunted power play clicking at just under 48% in this postseason. 10 out of 21 will have an opportunity to tie the game and answer Vancouver's power play goal.
Well, the Canucks won 66% of the faceoffs in Game 1. Edmonton's already done a better job here in the circle so far.
Draisaitl looks better than he did in the later stages of Game 1.
He's winning draws.
Well, but he also looks like he's moving normally. He was clearly compromised in the latter stages of Game 1. Draisaitl out there with Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Bouchard, and Hyman. That's your normal ATCO Energy first power play unit. ATCO, your trusted Alberta retailer. And the Oilers dig in for an offensive zone draw to the right of Shelovs. Canuck penalty killers, 87%, but gave up a goal on the only chance they saw in the first minute and a half of Wednesday's game. Problem for Edmonton, that was it. Off the draw, it's McDavid. Finding Nugent Hopkins, slid back to Bouchard. He'll walk the line. Now Nugent Hopkins left circle. McDavid heading for the net, gliding behind, waiting, dishing. Bouchard pounds it toward the net, and that was towed aside. Rebound, Nugent Hopkins. Slipped past Lindholm, kicked it back to Bouchard. Winding up, dishing. Nugent Hopkins tried to center for Hyman, deflected. Swing and a miss, McDavid. Canucks with a chance to clear. Belly down, Bluger. Can't do it, one touch. And what a save by Shelovs. He stopped McDavid and then Draisaitl. Stopped by Shelovs. Kicked off the side of the net. Here's Draisaitl, left circle. Edmonton, 2 glorious chances to tie it up. Served up to Bouchard, high slot. Nugent Hopkins, top of the left circle. McDavid dashing toward the net. Tried to put it off the nameplate and got too much air under it. Chased down his own rebound, wrapped up with Bluger. This will be a clear for the Canucks. Lindholm. Skinner, as the first power play unit stays out there, sends Bouchard up the center ice. 50 seconds on the man advantage. Here's McDavid dishing and darting. Draisaitl shrugged off a check from Joshua. Plows his way toward the net. McDavid dropped it off to Hyman. Couldn't get a backhander away. Here's Nugent Hopkins. Thought about shooting. Instead off to Draisaitl, deep right corner. 30 seconds on the power play. Draisaitl. McDavid back to Draisaitl. He scores. And this game is tied. Leon Draisaitl. Power play goal. His 6th of the playoffs. And his 4th power play goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We are tied at 1.
Well, they're such great players. And come playoff time, maybe you run a little bit longer with your first unit on the ice. Edmonton had multiple looks. And Leon evens the game up.
I mean, the Oilers are just, at this point, so dialed in he might as well put it up on the board. Draisaitl from McDavid. Both players have points in all 7 games the Oilers have played in these playoffs. McDavid leads the league with 14 points. Draisaitl now second with 13, and the puck cleared out of play off the center ice draw down the right-hand side, and that brings us to another timeout. 8:57 to go in this first period, and we are tied. Leon Draisaitl with his 6th of the postseason, 4 of which have come on the power play. The Oilers' power play stays hot. Give Nugent Hopkins a second assist on the game-tying goal. It's 1-1 in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, Western Conference Semi, the Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with $4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Draisaitl for McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins were tied. 50-50 jackpot for the Edmonton Oilers. Right now sitting at $1.325 million and climbing. You got another hour to get our early bird prizes. Signed Ryan Nugent-Hopkins jersey and another hour and a half for $15,000 cash. Benefiting, of course, the Stollery and Food Banks Alberta. Sent up the left-hand side off the draw, and that'll be an icing call whistled against Vancouver. 8.5 to go in the first period. The teams have traded power play goals. Elias Pettersson, a one-timer created by JT Miller, and Draisaitl from McDavid finishes on the Oiler power play as the first unit needed a minute 33 but got it done, and they're right back out there in terms of Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman for this ozone draw coming off the TV timeout. Ekholm and Bouchard paired with them. Chris Knobloch going to the whip early here. Draisaitl wins the face-off. Bouchard sends it down low. McDavid checked and punished by Zadorov. Hyman hard against Pettersson. Puck trickles free and taken by Vancouver's Niels Höglander. Up through center and his first point of the playoffs in the win on Wednesday. After erupting for a career-high 24 goals this year. Up the left-hand side, it's Leon Draisaitl, defended by Roenick. Dumps it in. Hyman rides Hughes into the boards. Hughes lost his helmet. He has to come off. And as he does, Vancouver will change. It's a late change and a sloppy one. Feathered down low. Draisaitl tried to get it to McDavid and reeled in finally by Shelovs. And the Canucks perhaps fortunate that the Oilers didn't get a glorious scoring chance out of that situation. For some reason, there was confusion as Hughes came to the bench without the headgear, and Vancouver was very slow to get Soucy, his replacement, on.
Edmonton needed to get a shot on goal.
Yes. Yes.
But speaking of a shot, a small thing. Höglander in on the forecheck, and he finishes the check on Matthias Ekholm. The Oilers need a guy like Ryan McLeod. When you're going in there, you don't fly by. You sting the defenseman with a shot. You get in there and you finish your check. Everybody's got to hit in the playoffs. Everybody's got to block shots.
Dylan Holloway had a team-high 7 on Wednesday night. And he's out there with Ryan and Janmark. Kulak and Desharnais. Another face-off won by Derek Ryan. Guided back to Desharnais by Holloway. And now Janmark protects the puck down low against Tyler Myers, who ends up steamrolling him. Di Giuseppe had a chance to clear and failed to do it. Myers is shaken up meanwhile. He is very slow to rise. And now Derek Ryan didn't see Myers finally get up and strip the puck from him. Driven on net by Kulak and a save by Shilovs. Keep an eye on Myers, though, Bob. Yeah. He's hobbled. Di Giuseppe will send it in deep as Myers labors to get to the bench. Desharnais around the boards, and Quinn Hughes will pick it off at center for the Canucks. On to Teddy Blueger. He's in over the line. Left wing, back to Hughes. Blueger in the corner. He'll send it behind the net. That's grabbed by Connor Garland. He's hung up with Vinny Desharnais. Ryan McLeod comes over. Desharnais finishes his check on Garland. In meantime, Kulak is able to wrestle the puck free and off to Corey Perry. Reverse back to Desharnais in his own zone. On to Ryan McLeod. He'll backhand it up the middle. Hughes reaching for it. McLeod tried to keep it alive and eventually did, playing it back to his defenseman. And Desharnais and Kulak will restart. 6.5 to go in the first period. I did not see whether Myers had to go underneath there. Pedersen a steal, and an open man McCabe. Wrist shot, save, Skinner. And he'll freeze it with 6:13 to go in the first period. Ilya McCabe has a grand total of 1 goal over his last 57 games. And he's a guy with a 20-goal season to his credit. Just can't buy one lately. In fact, he's only got 1 point in his last 20 games.
Well, don't whammy him. I know you don't believe in that.
Pedersen digs in against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Well, I didn't mention his slump, Bob, and he scored anyways.
Yeah.
Nugent-Hopkins won the face-off. Nurse will launch it down the middle, and that'll be an icing call against Edmonton. 6:07 to play in the first. Game tied at 1. And I really do. I feel like that Nurse twin shots on Elias Pettersson ever so slightly tilted the wheel in Edmonton's favor in this game. 2 big hits on Pettersson. Played his best game of the playoffs in Game 1 and finally got off the schneid here in Game 2. Here he won a face-off, but the puck went right through the middle, and Shilovs with an errant pass intended for Zadorov, and that's going to be picked off by Warren Fogle down low right corner, but he can't do anything with it. Pettersson took it away. Höglander ahead for Ian Cole, who activates and chips it in, even as he's clipped by Darnell Nurse. Hard rim by Ceci, cut off by Höglander, trying to plow his way through Nugent-Hopkins, couldn't do it. Höglander against Nurse, forced down wide. Nurse on Höglander. Trying to carve that puck loose, he did. McCabe on his backhand. Threw it out to Zadorov. Shot, save, Skinner. Seemed to surprise him, but he's able to pounce on it. And now some rough stuff, and once again, Darnell's engaged physically. Nurse and Ceci protecting their netminders. Zadorov has had a scoring touch, had a goal and an assist the other night.
It's interesting. You talk to some people. We'll go to break here, Jack.
Well, you could finish your
I was just going to say, does Hronek become the priority in re-signing? He's a restricted free agent. What about Nikita Zadorov? Huge, man. He's been good for Rick Tocchet.
1-all, 5:24 to play in the first period. Pettersson, a power play goal for Vancouver. Draisaitl likewise for Edmonton. We're even in Game 2. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes Olive Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
1-1 hockey game, 5:24 to play in the first period. A face-off to the right of Stuart Skinner. Teddy Bluger against Derek Ryan in the face-off circle. And that puck trickles free to Darnell Nurse. Janmark and Henrique are Ryan's wingers. Nurse's pass is off target, and as a result, icing against Edmonton. 5:16 to go in the first period. We are tied at 1. Pedersen, a power play goal for Vancouver, 4 minutes in. And then about 6.5 minutes later, Leon Draisaitl tied it from the usual suspects, McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins on the power play.
So an unforced error there in the icing. Big draw here for Derek Ryan.
Miller won it cleanly against Derek Ryan. Hughes across to Philip Roenick. Now Besser swings it in front. And a tough shot handled by Skinner against Pius Suter. He was in the slot. And Skinner was able to come up with that puck. And now Edmonton will be able to change up and get the matchup at once. 5:08 to go in the first period, tied at 1.
They got those big, long defensemen now, Vancouver. Different team than they used to be when they had guys like Bear back there, and before they added Cole and then Susie and Zorda.
Before they had Myers and Hughes, and that was about it.
Yeah. Way better. They've got to give Jim Rutherford, Patrick Elvine credit. Top line against top line here, Jack.
Draw one by McDavid. Ekholm whips it off Miller. Grabbed by Besser in the high slot. Heads for the net. Backhanded in front. Redirected just wide by Suter. Another good chance for Vancouver. Suter in the slot. And now McDavid trying to twist up Roenick. A shot off Gelos. He got just enough of that to nudge the puck wide. Reversed by Besser back on McDavid's side. That was a curious decision as he grapples with Philip Roenick. Draisaitl back to the point. Taken away by J.T. Miller. Up through center and in over the line. On to Besser. And he had his pocket picked by Leon Draisaitl. Miller drifts over. Fires a pass to Hughes. He waits. He shoots. And a kick save made by Skinner from the left circle. Rebound McDavid. And he'll slow the play down for Mattias Ekholm. A reset situation.
Gonna need something out of Fogle tonight for Edmonton, Jack.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the first period of Game 2. Vancouver took Game 1 5-4. It's the 5th straight one-goal game the Canucks have played in this playoffs. Nugent-Hopkins took it away from Connor Garland. Kane left circle, fire shot, save, and the rebound fired wide. Here's Kulak across, one-timer, and that was deflected. Desharnais could not get it through. Lindholm bobbled, and eventually it was soccered out of there by Dakota Joshua. Desharnais to Kulak. Back to Desharnais. Down the middle, Nugent-Hopkins guides over. Evander Kane, backhander, fought off in front. Cole looking for the rebound. Played it up the boards. Pedersen battling Kane and then Nugent-Hopkins, who kept it alive for Kane. Ian Cole there to cut him off. Dangerous pass in front of his own net. McCabe was there. He was run off the puck by Fogle. Zadorov able to reverse, and now Ian Cole back on the puck. This time he whips it up the right-hand side, and Pedersen tried to shoot it in. It was knocked down. Pedersen got it back. McCabe had it taken away by Desharnais. Now Pedersen left circle fires, and a save made by Skinner. Not much of an angle there. Nugent-Hopkins is going to get called for a holding penalty here. McCabe to Hughes. Second minor penalty of the first period assessed against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. McCabe Now JT Miller. Extra skater on for Vancouver. Miller. Philip Roenick back to Miller. It was deflected by Nugent-Hopkins. Vancouver has to clear the zone. Miller, right-hand side. Perry intercepts. And now the Canucks power play will go into effect with 2:39 officially remaining in the first period. And the Canucks, having converted their first power play, will get an opportunity to regain the lead.
And again, Draisaitl probably has to take the face-off here. He did win the draw to start the Vancouver power play, but then they snipe quickly.
That was a good play by Vinny Desharnais to prevent the one scoring chance. And then Nugent-Hopkins just got that right hand on the hip of Elias Pettersson. So holding the call at 17:21 of this first period. We are tied at 1. Each team has scored a power play goal. Now Vancouver with Elias Lindholm taking a face-off against Leon Draisaitl. Out there with Janmark, Ekholm, and Kulak. Face-off one to Kulak, hammered up the left-hand boards and down the ice. Quinn Hughes didn't even bother. He just turned and started churning those legs back into his own zone. Against Janmark, he'll lay it off to Miller. Miller backing his way through the neutral zone and then finding Besser. Besser's pass was tipped away by Janmark, a good read, and Miller has to drift back. At a career-high 103 points this year. 9th in the league in scoring, JT Miller. Pettersson down low left corner. He had a 99-point campaign a couple of years before that. Miller over to Pettersson, left circle. Loads it up, doesn't shoot. Tried to twist it back to Miller. Miller did well just to hold the zone. And because of that, it's worked back to Hughes. Besser, slap shot deflected wide of Skinner. Rebound taken by Janmark. Ample time to move it, but he had it stolen. And now Miller tries to center. That was deflected high up on the glass. Pettersson lets it go back to Miller, and now Hughes high slot for the Canucks. Miller, left circle. Waits, stitches. One-timer. Pettersson shattered his stick that time. Same spot he had scored from 4 minutes into the hockey game. Here, Kulak will drive it down the right-hand side. A couple shattered sticks on the ice.
Nurse is just pounding everything in sight.
Well, he was mentioned as a guy who needed to elevate his game for Game 2, and he most certainly has. Those 2 hits on Pettersson, I think, swung the game a bit in Edmonton's favor emotionally. Final minute in this first period, and down to 20 seconds on the power play is the second unit on. Soucy to center. Pius Suter to Roenick. Suter one touch on to Sam Lafferty. Suter around the boards. Fogle sprinting toward the puck. Joshua can't hold it in and now backs off. His pass deflected and grabbed by Roenick as Nugent-Hopkins comes charging out of the box. Canucks fail to capitalize, and thus Game 2 remains tied at 1 with a half minute to go in the opening period. Soucy, left side, steered in by Bluger. Ekholm after it, finishing the check is Ilya Mikheyev. Now it's McDavid up to Zach Hyman. Favorable matchup for the Oilers. McDavid to Draisaitl. Trailer, one-timer save. Rebound to lunging Shelovs. And Hyman put her off the side of the net. Now it's McDavid, 6 seconds to the middle and squeezed through, and Shelovs has it. Shelovs got just enough of that Ekholm shot to deflect it wide, and when Hyman raced over to try to put it into the net, Shelovs was able to lunge over, and Hyman could only shoot it off the side of the net. Didn't have to make a save, but forced Hyman to shoot wide.
They missed a high stick. Hyman got cleaved from behind. He's appealing for a call out at center with Furlat.
Shelovs hearing his own name chanted there. Hyman saying, get some help from your linesman. That's exactly what Hyman was saying to Kelly Sutherland. Talk to Kyle Murchison. He's standing right there. And no further discussion. Puck will be dropped with 3 seconds to go in the period. Hyman and McDavid will line up in the slot, stacked. Ekholm and Bouchard perched at the top of the circle. Canucks stack 3 in the slot themselves. Miller digging in against Draisaitl. Now pausing. Riley, the puck dropped. Out to Bouchard, a shot deflected. Wide rebound. Side of the net, and Hyman tried to bank it home. Wow, that worked just about perfectly for the Edmonton Oilers, but the shot did not make its way cleanly through, and thus the Oilers have to settle for a 1-1 tie after the opening 20 minutes. Again, each team with a power play goal. Pettersson at 4:14, Draisaitl at 10:56, the equalizer. What did you make of the opening 20? Again, Edmonton permitted just 5 shots on net despite 2 power plays.
Yeah, I thought a good period for Edmonton, and I think it turned when Darnell Nurse got 2 good shots, heavy shots in Elias Pettersson. Oilers are physical, their defense are stepping up, and McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman loaded up are giving Edmonton some good 5-on-5 minutes, creating some looks there.
So a 1-1 tie. The Oilers, of course, led 2-0 after the first period of Game 1. 4-1 with 23 minutes to go, and then Vancouver rallied with 3 in the third to steal a 5-4 verdict in Game 1. 1-1 our score, and I believe we're now joined by Adam Henrique. Adam, thanks for joining us. I thought the game might have turned a little bit when Darnell Nurse rocked Pettersson with a couple of hits. Did that wake the bench up a little bit and get things going in your direction?
Yeah, it certainly gets everybody going. I think, we're playing on our toes. We're trying to play physical game, playing with a lot of energy. I think we've been doing a pretty good job of that in the first period.
Everybody's got to play hurt. How did you handle it, getting back in the lineup in that first period? How was it for you, Adam?
Yeah, good. You're just itching to be out there. You want to help the team any way you can, and it's certainly great to get the first game of the series in here.
Thank you so much, Adam. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Not only gutting it out to play in the game, but to join us on our broadcast, which might be the least desirable of the two, obviously.
Yes.
Not might be. It definitely is.
Entertaining first period.
Absolutely. And you know what? I thought the Oilers, with the crowd all riled up, the early power play goal, I thought they withstood it. And again, I think Darnell Nurse played a vital role in kind of changing the overall mood in the building a little bit and put Edmonton back into this game. And of course, Draisaitl tying it on the power play, for which there seemed to be no answers no matter who Edmonton happens to play.
Vancouver had 3 power plays in Game 1. The Oilers only had 1. Vancouver was probably the better team 5-on-5 in Game 1. I think Edmonton was the better team 5-on-5 in the first period. The Canucks had 10 blocked shots. The Oilers only had 2. And face-offs, the Oilers won 13 to 21 draws in that first period. They got killed in the face-off circle with no Draisaitl for basically half the game in center. Their best face-off man at 57%.
And McDavid had an off night.
He had an off night, so they got some things going.
And Lindholm had a big night.
Well, Lindholm, we've liked Lindholm. I mean, Jack, it's this simple. The Canucks built a bigger, heavier defense and then stepped up and paid the price to get Lindholm. And now they've got strength down the middle and they got size on D. And so they're going to be a tough out. It's a real good team. And he plays great against Edmonton, Lindholm.
He's got 12 more points against Edmonton than any other NHL team. And yes, I know he played in the division, but he also played 5 years in Carolina.
Well, he had a 5-point game against the Oilers. In a game in which we had double hat-tricks, Nugent Hopkins and Lindholm. So Nugent Hopkins the Oilers have to get something else 5-on-5 from somebody other than McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman in this game. That's something to watch for. There were chances for McLeod and Fogle around the net. They couldn't get to loose pucks, and they couldn't get direct to pucks.
Kane had a good chance, too.
Shilov's had a better period.
He did. He looked better.
He looked better in goal.
I don't love the fact he has trouble with that catching glove. He spills a lot.
The other thing that they blocked 10 shots. Like, they played dive in the grenade hockey out there for each other.
But if you can get him moving side to side, Bob, I think he's here.
They would say the same thing about Skinner. I wonder a bit of, talking to some of the people around the Canucks, I wonder a little about his tracking, if you get a net front on him, but they've got those hulking defense. By the way, did we see another shift from Myers after he went on?
No,
I don't recall him coming back.
I didn't see him go underneath, but I don't think he played the remainder of the period. So the game is tied at 1. The first period is complete, and when we come back, Reed Wilkins and Rob Brown will have their say. This is Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Edmonton Oilers trailing 1-0 in a 1-1 tie through 20 minutes here in Vancouver in Game 2. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Experience
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
Alberta's best sprint car drivers battle it out against their Rocky Mountain rivals for the Can-Am Sprint Car Challenge. Catch all the dirt-slinging excitement May 25th at Rad Torque Raceway. Then get ready to color your world as the International Children's Festival of the Arts returns to St. Albert with countless awe-inspiring and mind-growing experiences. May 30th through June 2nd. Details at childfest.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
30 seconds on the power play. Draisaitl, McDavid, back to Draisaitl, he scores, and this game is tied. Leon Draisaitl, power play goal, his 6th of the playoffs, and his 4th power play goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We are tied at 1.
That's where we stand after the first period, and the Draisaitl power play marker takes you into the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. So Vancouver got an early power play goal, 4:14 into the game, as for the first time in the playoffs, the Oilers were scored on while trying to kill a penalty. They were 15 for 15 coming into this game. Now they'll be 16 for 17 because they killed off a penalty. After that, Pettersson for Miller and Hughes, and then at 10:56, Draisaitl for McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins, as we just see the Oilers' first unit power play. Stay on the ice, keep pucks alive, keep working it around, and then Draisaitl down to the corner. McDavid back to Draisaitl, and he flips it past Sheloff's blocker. So 1-1 after 1, 7-5, the shots in favor of the Oilers, says Rob Brown. Checks in. Rob, that the power play goes to work again, and we're also seeing Draisaitl and McDavid together 5-on-5, looking pretty good.
They do look pretty good, although there is something obviously wrong with Leon. There was a back check that he laid big time trying to get back down the ice, so there is something going on there, but on the power play, on the specialty teams, that's where Leon is going to have a lot of free time to make plays without getting run over, without getting not a lot of physicality. But on the power play, right now, there's no answer. No team in the National Hockey League has been able to figure out how to slow them down. If this is a game where they call penalties, the Edmonton Oilers have a huge advantage.
Yeah, and the Oilers' PK finally scored on, and Pettersson finally on the goal column, in the goal column for the Canucks.
That was a wonderful play by JT Miller. He got every Oiler and the goaltender Skinner to bite, and they all thought shot. He throws it across. Pettersson has a wide open net. That's one, though, on the forwards. They didn't have their stick in the passing lane, but Pettersson slid down. He kind of did a Leon there. He was up high, right around the hash marks of the face-off dot, and he just slid further down, put himself in a good passing lane, allowed Miller to get it through, and Skinner had absolutely zero chance on that one. So good play by the Canucks. I thought that was a great period. I thought both teams came out. Both teams were physical. We saw more physicality out of the Oilers' defense. Big hit on Pettersson by Darnell Nurse. This is exactly what we expected from these two teams. Two good teams playing well, and give credit to both goaltenders. Both were excellent in the first period.
Yeah, again, not a lot of shots, but I agree. Each guy made a couple of good saves. A nervous moment for Sheloff with about 10 seconds left. The big Ekholm shot off his glove, and the rebound was lying there for Hyman, who couldn't quite hack it on the net. And then Hyman quite upset because he did get high stick by Zadorov on that play.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where Zadorov's so high that the ref doesn't see a high stick because Zadorov's stick's about waist high on him. It could have been a call. You don't want to see a guy bleed, but if he had a bloody nose there, that's one that they can review or the linesman can call. Unfortunately for them, I thought the best save Sheloff's made in the first period, though, was the one on Connor McDavid. His first shot of the playoffs, it was an absolute bomb. One of the few times we've seen Connor come up with speed He came flying into the zone, and Shelov's just got a bit of his glove on it to keep that on the outside. McDavid has been flying. That line has been dangerous. What the Oilers need is something from lines 2, 3, and 4 because the ice seems to tilt a little bit back the other way when Connor's not on the ice.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's we've sung that refrain before, Rob, in the playoffs. So hopefully somebody other than the Oilers' big line able to generate something tonight as this one goes along. Just want to let you know if you are still thinking, I'm going to go downtown, go to the plaza, go to the fan park, go in the big Molson Hockey House tent. They're full. So I don't know if anybody's still trying to go at this time of night, but they are full up tonight. So find another comfortable, fun spot to watch this game. It is 1-1 after the first period, Oilers and Canucks. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy's Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today and creating innovative solutions for a clean electricity future.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to abdiamond.ca today.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. And along with NHL playoff concerns, there are now also wildfire concerns in both Alberta and BC. Residents of Fort McMurray and a nearby community of Sapre Creek Estates are being told to be ready to flee their homes on short notice with an evacuation alert in effect. Alberta Wildfire says an out-of-control blaze burning to the southwest is now about 16 kilometers away from Fort McMurray after growing to 10 square kilometers. A wildfire there in 2016 destroyed roughly 2,400 homes. And Alberta Wildfire says it's now also responding to numerous out-of-control wildfires in the Grand Prairie Forest area. One is about 13 kilometers northwest of Valhalla. Another is about 4 kilometers east of the town of TP Creek. And the BC Wildfire Service says it has initiated tactical evacuations for numerous neighborhoods in Fort Nelson due to an out-of-control wildfire threatening that community. The fire is west of Fort Nelson, with the service saying it expects to close Highway 97, with the blaze expected to spread beyond current control lines. News on demand at 630ched.com.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822. Edmonton, get ready to meet Traveland RV. The Trailblazer RV location in Atchison is now Traveland RV. Western Canada's trusted name in recreation since 1977. Celebrate our grand opening and find up to 50% off MSRP during our huge liquidation sale. That's right, 50% off. Select in-stock 2022 and 2023 models. Brands you know like KZ, Venture, Brinkley, Rockwood, New Camp, and Northern Light. Edmonton's new name in recreation. Traveland RV in Atchison. TravelandRV.ca. Simply unbeatable.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
The Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
So Barkov leans in against Coyle, and Barkov wins the draw cleanly. The Boston net is empty. Nico Mikkel up the near side, held in by DeBrusk, and then a pile up on the near boards. Kachuk came out with it. He'll give to Reinhart. Reinhart to the neutral zone, plays it up the far boards, got back up to a shot. He scores on the empty net. Sam Reinhart gives the Panthers the 5-2 lead.
Sam Reinhart with a really good individual effort.
Yeah, and they would get another one as the Panthers win 6-2 in Boston. So the Panthers go up 2-1 in that best-of-7 series as we update the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Matthew Tkachuk with 3 assists in that game. Bobrovsky, the winning goaltender, as he only had to face 17 shots in that game. So Florida with a couple convincing victories after losing the first game. Western Hockey League Championship Series is underway in the first minute of the second period. Moose Jaw and Portland, no score. NBA playoff tonight. Pacers beat the Knicks 111-106. Knicks lead the series 2-1. Nuggets lead the T-Wolves 59-43 at the start of the second half. Minnesota leading that series 2-0. The Blue Jays beaten today 3-2 by the Minnesota Twins. Well, the Oilers penalty kill for the first time in the playoffs gives up a goal. Pettersson gets it. Draisaitl responds on an Oilers power play. It's 1-1 heading to the second period with Jack Michaels and Bob Stauffer. You're listening to Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Oh!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
And visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers 50-50 jackpot sitting at $1.37 million, and you've got about a half hour to get in the early bird draw for the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins jersey and the $15,000 cash. Of course, benefiting the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation, Food Banks Alberta, and the Oilers Community Foundation. Drop the puck second period with Edmonton's fourth unit out there. And that's Holloway, Ryan, and Matthias Janmark, Kulak, and Desharnais. Kulak up through center. He'll shovel it in. That's a bit of a change, Bob. You don't normally see that in terms of using a different line to start the second period than you did the game. And that goes for all regular season games, too. Driving in, Niels Höglander for Vancouver left to right in this second period of play. The Canucks are in the blue, the Oilers are in the white. Puck dragged to the middle of the ice, and Pettersson muffed one from the right circle. He pushed it wide, and Derek Ryan clears the rebound to Holloway. And now Janmark will take a skate and serve it up for Kulak. Did he get a touch on that? He didn't. And another unforced error for the Oilers.
Got an interference penalty here. Derek Ryan's going to get it, or Holloway.
It's a slash. Wow. Slashing the call. 49 seconds. Oh, it isn't. Oh, it's going each way. Interference and a slash. One each way.
Well, there seems to be a little bit of consternation here, but Höglander and Ryan got in. Good
one each way.
Excellent pickup by you.
So 4-on-4.
Derek gave him a stick where I don't think I've ever seen Derek. It's playoffs. I don't think I've ever seen him do that, and I've seen him play more than anyone.
I'm assuming you're referring to the cubes.
He went for the kill shot.
Face off to Skinner's right. McDavid and Draisaitl out there in the 4-on-4. Ekholm and Bouchard. Well, I'll tell you what, Leon Draisaitl, the most shifts in that first period with 10. He's obviously feeling his oats in terms of any lingering effects from the injury that hobbled him in Game 1 don't seem apparent tonight in Game 2. He does lose the draw. Shot by Soucy, deflected in. Brilliantly by Besser. And it's 2-1 Vancouver. What a tip. Soucy let a floater go from the high slot. And Besser deflected it home for his 5th of the playoffs and his 7th against Edmonton this year.
Well, Leon did such a great job in the circle in the first period, but he lost that draw. And McDavid got out there, and Carson Soucy's becoming an emerging story here. For
3 assists in this series.
And they're going to need him because they do not have Tyler Myers on the bench right now. And Stuart Skinner's going to have to come up with a save here, too.
Well, that was a perfect tip. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really going to fault him for that one.
Needed to do a little bit better job tying up the stick.
Ekholm behind the net off the draw. McDavid went down. A pass eluded him. And Soucy after it for Vancouver. Bobbled by Zadorov. Draisaitl centering. Ekholm shoots and scores, and it's immediate response for Edmonton, tying the game. I was just going to say, you'd love a quick reply here, and the Oilers get it exactly 23 seconds after Vancouver had regained the lead.
Matthias Ekholm was Edmonton's best defenseman in game number 1, scored a goal, and that time he just jumped into a hole, and McDavid and Draisaitl, I think, are going to pick up the assist on the play. Leon on the backhand through the seam, off of the skate of McDavid, right to Ekholm, and we're tied.
Ekholm put it upstairs for his 2nd goal in as many games of this series. And now McDavid will join Draisaitl in elite company. 90 points in 56 playoff games. Only Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux did it quicker. Canucks off the draw. Garland lunging. Lindholm crossing and missing Quinn Hughes. Hughes will move it to Garland. Cleared safely by the Oilers back to center ice. Taking a walk is Philip Hronek. Zadorov and Soucy with the assists on the Besser goal. Again, his 5th of the postseason, but Ekholm comes right back. Here's Mikheyev. Into the offensive zone for Vancouver. Left side, Quinn Hughes. Down low left corner. corner. Using a screen off to McCabe in the slot. Takes a shot that was blocked by Hyman. Rebound retrieved by Ceci and reversed back behind the Edmonton net. Both goals scored 4-on-4, and we're still operating in 4-on-4 hockey for the next half minute. Ian Cole for Miller. Scoots it off the boards. Off a Nurse. Miller to the net, and a great backtrack by Nugent Hopkins to chop it away. And giving ground is Zadorov. He has 3 points in this series. Flipped the other way by Nurse. No icing, and that'll be collected by Zadorov. Up the middle, Brock Besser. Fired it back to Cole, and now Besser under pressure coughs it up. Bouchard to Connor McDavid. Left circle. Shot saved. Sheloff's rebound. Sent right back in front to Corey Perry, and he couldn't handle that pass. It appeared to be on the tape. Canucks able to clear. Ekholm up the left-hand side. Draisaitl got it in deep, and then it was turned over. Draisaitl heading for the net. Curled it back to Matthias Ekholm. He'll switch with Draisaitl. Tried to cut inside, and Cole dropped him. And the Canucks, Brock Besser, able to clear back to center. Draisaitl to Bouchard. Cross ice tipped out of play by Besser with 3.5 gone here in the second period. So Ekholm with the quick response just 23 seconds after Besser had delivered a brilliant mid-slot tip. And we're tied once again, 2-2. McLeod between Kane and Fogle, a face-off right outside the Vancouver blue line. Sam Lafferty and Ryan McLeod digging in for the draw. And it's Lafferty winning it. Tyler Myers is back on the ice, Bob.
Yep.
Did not play for the remainder of the first period, but he's okay. We think it's a wrist. Here's Fogle, a shot, a save made by Sheloffs. And we had a chance to look at the replay with Tyler Myers, and that wrist went awkwardly into the boards. He's able to shrug it off and come back here in the second period. And so Vancouver does have its full complement of 6 defensemen with the score tied at 2.
Got to play hurt.
Well, Myers is coming off. That's a pretty quick shift. So clearly he's feeling it. Zadorov will come on. And a puck will be dropped to the right of Sheloffs. McLeod to take the draw for the Edmonton Oilers. We're looking for their first win of the season. Remember, against Vancouver. Canucks have won all 5 meetings, 4 in the regular season and game 1 on Wednesday. Here's Sam Lafferty. Scored 2 goals during the regular season against the Oilers. Got it in deep. Desharnais to Warren Fogle. Pressure from Bluger, who finishes his check. Desharnais up the right-hand side, and Kane sends one wobbling back toward the Oiler bench. Zadorov was able to whack it back to center and knock the stick out of McLeod's hand in the process. Di Giuseppe to the middle. Garland into the attacking zone. Couldn't get a shot away, and the Oilers come away with the puck. Fogle to Adam Henrique. Center ice, knocked off the stick of Evander Kane. Roenick comes back. Kane tries to thunder into him. A partial blow at best, and Roenick able to slap down a rim by Henrique and a clear to Elias Lindholm. His cross-ice pass intended for Quinn Hughes was broken up. Finishing his check, Dakota Joshua has really emerged as a force this year. Late round pick of the St. Louis Blues, and he's blossomed in Vancouver. Quinn Hughes, high slot, one-timer coming, and that just missed the net from Connor Garland as Skinner sprawled toward the far post, played down low. Garland snuck down low, took it away from Darnell Nurse. Adam Henrique, though, in turn stripped Garland. Corey Perry did not get it out. Quinn Hughes behind Joshua with an attempted feed, and Nurse this time able to seal off Garland and allow Corey Perry ample time. Cross ice to Ceci, swatted back to center. Dylan Holloway shovels it in. Quinn Hughes takes control for Vancouver, spins away from Holloway, and Corey Perry caught a piece of him, and Hughes didn't like it. One of the Norris Trophy finalists and the front-runner for the award, Miller inadvertently put it into the second row with 5.5 gone by in the second period. The game tied at 2, and I assume the low from you, Bob, was Corey Perry's cross-ice pass in his own end.
Just don't beat yourself. Simple, direct, hard, firm. And that's how Ekholm plays. And that's why he's effective.
Miller against Connor McDavid. The puck will be dropped at center.
It's not deep. The center's out here.
McDavid able to win the faceoff. Blasted in by Bouchard. High up on the plexi. Took a hop off the back of the net. Roenick raced over, made a play on his backhand, and now turns it up ice for Pius Suter. From center ice, he'll try to serve it up to Besser, but he missed it, and they're going to wave off icing there. I'm not sure if Suter was at center. Canucks go to work. Miller turned it over to Leon Draisaitl, who sends a soft chip up the left-hand side that's gathered by Roenick and sent across to Soucy. He'll fire it in. Kind of a mishmash of Vancouver on defense, as Myers probably going to be used sparingly the rest of the way. Draisaitl with control of the puck for Edmonton. Finds Bouchard. In over the line, onside McDavid. Bouchard couldn't handle the puck cleanly. Top of the left circle. Now fires a pass to Brett Kulak, who spins on his backhand. He'll leave it for Draisaitl. Coming off the right half boards, McDavid cuts to the inside. Doesn't let fly. Instead, Bouchard off the kneecaps of Kulak directly to McDavid. Cuts behind the net this time. Centers. Draisaitl shot wide. What a feed from McDavid. And Draisaitl just missed the net. Looking to give Edmonton its first lead of the night. 2-2, 13:20 to play. Flattered off the boards. Kulak up to Fogle and safely sent in deep. Myers back on the ice for Vancouver. Did not get it out. Evander Kane cut it off. Canucks had it, lost it. Regained by Kane. Around the boards. Vancouver has scored on its only shot of the period. Lead pass Höglander to the middle, and waving at it, couldn't get there was Pettersson. As Desharnais had him tied up. Skinner spun it to the corner. Pettersson short side. Skinner makes the save. Rebound in close quarters, and Skinner's got it. And Nurse once again physically engaged, as is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Someone in a headlock, and they're finally going to be pried apart here with 12:50 to play in this second period. One last face wash into Pettersson's grill from Evander Kane. Stuart Skinner holding sway on that last flurry. The game tied at 2. The time remaining in period 2, 12:50. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinal from Vancouver. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
2-2 hockey game, 12:50 to play in the second period. A face-off coming to Stuart Skinner's right-hand side. Derek Ryan to take the draw against Teddy Bluger of Vancouver. The Canucks have had the lead twice, and twice the Oilers have tied it. Ekholm needed just 23 seconds to answer Besser's go-ahead goal here in the second period after Pettersson and Draisaitl swapped power play goals in the first. Lafferty down. Moved into the circle to take it against Derek Ryan, and Lafferty won it. Quinn Hughes, little spin move, left point. Then eventually thrust it down low, looking for Lafferty against Cody Ceci. Behind Stuart Skinner. Ceci coughed it up to G. Giuseppe. Burrowing in is Ryan. Knocked down behind the net by Lafferty. He waits. Nurse comes over, swallows him up. Ceci forced it free. Sent out eventually to Hronek. Across to Hughes. His shot, pinball save. Rebound Lafferty. What a tremendous left pad stop by Stuart Skinner. His best of the playoffs. Magnificent. Lafferty can't believe it. Luger, a nice play off the wall off an Edmonton dump in, and the Canucks force it back through the middle. And earlier in the season, those goals were going in for Sam Lafferty, but the offense has dried up on him, and Stuart Skinner just absolutely robbed him. Crowd chanting for Skinner. Well, it's understandable. That was a remarkable stop. Luger will dump it in for the Canucks. Racing in is Perry to shield his man off, and Ekholm with a clear up the left-hand side. Punched forward by Suter. Skinner stretching out that left pad. Didn't make a great play with a puck, and the Canucks will wind it around. Besser didn't get his stick down in time, so Draisaitl will clear with ease. Center ice Soucy to Pius Suter, and it's sent back into the Oilers zone. So we come up on the midway point of Game 2. Canucks having taken Game 1 5-4. Soucy whiffed, taken away by McDavid, and it's 2-on-1 for the Oilers with Myers back. McDavid waits, and what a poke check by Soucy. Did not quit on the play. And then Besser whistled it around the boards. Ekholm hammered it off JT Miller, and the puck finally soccered down the middle of the ice by Suter. That's a great play by Carson Soucy. Lead pass right-hand side, Hyman back into the zone. Draisaitl couldn't get it cleanly on his forehand, put it down low, and he got smoked by Dakota Joshua. That's a big hit by Joshua. Connor Garland gives way to Lindholm. Using a screen in over the line, right circle. Now shoveled down low by Ian Cole. Back behind and in front. Big hit. Good work on Joshua by Hyman to power that through and out to center ice. Ian Cole centered off a skate, I believe, belonging to Draisaitl. Skinner to play it up to Bouchard. He turned it over. Down low, quick chance for Garland, and he was stopped by Skinner, hugging that far post. Created by Höglander. Lead pass Kulak. Hyman did not gain center ice, but flipped it perfectly to Kulak, and he's erased by Ian Cole. Nugent Hopkins and Lindholm grapple for puck possession. Cole can't get it out. Kulak is there. Nugent Hopkins now protecting in the right corner. Cole on him. Ian Cole, 2 cups with Pittsburgh in 16 and 17. Desharnais, left-hand side, put it along the boards. Cole, now on his 8th team, did not get it out. Here's Fogle falling down as he shot it hopelessly wide. Rebound to Vander Kane. Left point, wired it across, and that's going to be picked off. Good read by Höglander. Scampers up the left-hand side, gets it in deep. Shrugs off a check. Keeps it on his stick and eventually gives it away for Evander Kane. Höglander has been feisty. Bob mentioned earlier finishing his check. And Höglander a determined shift here. Desharnais still trapped. Now finally gets it away to Darnell Nurse. Through the neutral zone, a shot to the blue line, speared by Shelovs, and he'll freeze it. And now Nurse just pulled off the helmet of Dakota Joshua. Now that is very close to an automatic. They wanted to enforce that earlier in the season. He pulled the helmet off Dakota Joshua. And doesn't look like there'll be any calls here. 9:01 to go in the second period. The game is tied at 2. This is Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And I'm Zach Hyman.
And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes
or having my goals disallowed,
we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You know, guys used to call me a plumber.
And now they call you an AC repairman.
Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
2-2 hockey game, 9:01 to go, second period. Edmonton, Vancouver. Shots are now even at 11 apiece. The Oilers have not led at any point in this game. But Draisaitl's power play goal in the first offset one for Pettersson. And then after Brock Besser tipped one home in the first minute of period 2 in a 4-on-4, on the very same 4-on-4 just 23 seconds later, Ekholm sent one upstairs on Shelovs to tie the game. McDavid with 2 assists tonight. Draisaitl a goal and an assist. And Draisaitl, again, playing hurt in the postseason, just relentless, set to take a draw against Elias Lindholm to the right of Shelovs. Midway point of game 2, the Oilers looking to even the series and take home ice advantage from Vancouver, who played 82 games to get it, finishing 5 points ahead of the Oilers in the regular season with a record of 50, 23, and 9. Edmonton's identical record from a year ago, when they finished second by 2 points to Vegas. This is an icing call against the Canucks up the right-hand side.
Canucks have done a better job on face-offs in this period, Jack. They scored a goal. The Oilers have given up 2 goals against on face-off losses early in the second period of both games. Edmonton won 62% of the draws. Right now, the Oilers are basically one face-off win better, 16 and 14. So the Canucks won that one, we'd be even. So they've worked their way back. They've done a good job here in the circle.
Draisaitl against Lindholm. And it looks like Draisaitl will be moved out, replaced by Connor McDavid, who leads all playoff scorers with 15 points. Trailing right behind is Leon Draisaitl with 14. And only Gretzky has done what McDavid's done with the 12 assists through 6 games to start a postseason. That was back in '87. Hyman works it down low, offensive zone for McDavid. He's pinned there. Draisaitl got inside of Suter and sent it out to Ekholm left point. His shot deflected away from Shelovs, and the rebound grabbed by JT Miller. Fires a pass cross ice for Myers. Took a bump from McDavid as he got it in deep. Ekholm dashes back, picks it up, fires a strike to Draisaitl. He's got McDavid with him. Over the line, play is onside. Draisaitl hits the trailer, Evan Bouchard, who spins top of the left circle and then brought it back outside the zone. That's offside.
Well,
Well, that was offside.
I know, but Giuseppe reached in and grabbed him. And that was a penalty last game against Connor Brown. Same situation. But, oh, wait, it was a 4-1 lead for Edmonton at that point. He grabbed him. And that's what forced him to go outside the line. A smart play by D. Giuseppe, who's been a very useful bottom 6 forward. They've improved their bottom 6 here.
He's on his 4th team, 10-year pro. Well-traveled, but as Bob mentioned, I mean, he's now working on nearly 300 games in the league.
And he's Rick Tocchet's type of player.
Kind of is Jordan Martinook. Nurse up the right-hand side to Cody Ceci. He'll fire it in. Roenick did not get a stick on it. McLeod centers off Shelovs, and he's able to control that. Hit him right in the goalie stick, and it froze the puck right there. Perry was sitting doorstep. If if that puck had trickled free, but somehow Sheeloff was able to pin it underneath his goalie stick as he jabbed the paddle out.
What did McLeod do there? He took it, he put it to the net. We need more of that out of Ryan McLeod. He's got speed. He can transport it. We know that.
But he's got to continue to put himself and the puck inside the dots. Face-off right side of Sheeloff. 7:43 to go in the second period. What he has done in the playoffs has been pretty good in the circle. 52% coming in. Ian Pettersson line up to the right side of the Vancouver net. Game 2, hanging in the balance, tied at 2. Draw neutralized. McLeod actually had a chance to shoot it. The second time it went off a skate and finally cleared by Ian Cole. To the Oiler line, Nurse to CC, and shoveled back in by McLeod. He'll go in against Zadorov, who shielded him from the puck. Cole wandered over. Mikheyev back to Cole, who's pinned and put it up the middle. That touched the Canucks stick, and they'll wave off icing. And the Oilers are furious. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Perry's wondering the same thing as he changes. Darnell Nurse scampers back on the puck retrieval for the Oilers with 7 minutes to go in period 2. Evander Kane playing in his hometown, sent it down low. Quinn Hughes gave way. Fogle tried to bring it around front. And now a reversal by Hughes over to Philip Roenick. Kane pressure, up the gut, Garland. A clear back to the red line, Desharnais. Had it and lost it. Fogle fired it across to Brett Kulak. Stick handling and sending it up through Kane. Not handled properly. Roenick over to Hughes, the Vancouver captain. Now Besser streaking down the right wing. They'll send it along the boards. Kulak will pick it up. Vancouver in the midst of a change. Brief bobble by Kulak on a return pass up to Kane. Left wing, Nugent Hopkins floats one around the boards. Fogle will be first on it. Warren Fogle coming off the right half boards, but Hughes is able to take it away, skate himself out of danger, and then lob it behind the Oiler defense. In fact, he inadvertently put it into the second row on the left side. But a glimpse of what Quinn Hughes can do for you defensively. He's not going to overpower you, but he can skate himself out of tighter windows than a lot of guys. I mean, there's not many you've seen, Bob, who operates better in close quarters than Quinn Hughes.
Makes you wonder what Detroit was thinking. The guy was right underneath their own nose, and they took Philip Zadina ahead of him. Got it right. And they would have been taking Bouchard at 6 if they had not taken Zadina. Fortunately for Edmonton, they didn't take Bouchard. Hughes ended up with the Canucks. He's going to win the Norris Trophy. And Bouchard's part of a fantastic power play and an 80-point score himself.
And Bouchard also coming in with 36 points in 34 playoff games. So he's done it in that playoff crucible. Off the draw, set up the left-hand side by the Canucks. Ekholm to Bouchard, mishandled. Here's a centering pass, jabbed at by Lindholm, but he couldn't get it on net. Leon Draisaitl over to wheel one ahead for Zach Hyman. Floats off his stick. Sheeloff's dangerously out. Clears up the left-hand side, and then swatted out of play by Di Giuseppe. The Oilers want delay of game. And we might have a penalty here as Hyman's helmet was knocked off. And this is going to be a call against Tyler Myers.
Okay, stay out of it. The rest of the Oilers got to get out of this. Right now, it's only the one call.
Right. Myers pulled out of the pile. And that's interesting because, of course, on the preceding sequence, we had Nurse pop the helmet off of Joshua. They're going to get Myers for roughing here, and I
Miller's
think that's
doing
it.
everything possible. He's punching guys. And
yeah, you've got
now another
helmet thrown off.
There might be 2 here.
No, I didn't see anything else other than the initial on Tyler Myers. Now, the officials are also discussing whether Di Giuseppe is looking at delay of game here and whether this could be a potential 5-on-3. This could be a two-man advantage for Edmonton when it's all said and done. 5:44 to go in the second period. We'll sort it out and come back in just a moment. We're live from Rogers Arena. The game tied at 2. We'll tell you the penalties when we come back with more live coverage of Game 2 of this Western Conference semifinal. Live from Vancouver, the Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Rogers customers and hockey fans. Rogers wants you to win big this Stanley Cup playoffs.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
You could win a VIP trip to the Stanley Cup final, plus hundreds of prizes, courtesy of Rogers Beyond the Sea. For your chance to win, visit Rogers.com/Stanley Cup. That's Rogers.com/Stanley Cup.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ouch!
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
And visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, we promised you we'd have a resolution, and we're not quite there yet. Susie's in the box for roughing. They have not determined whether or not it was a delay of game. And now the captains are discussing it with Eric Furlat. McDavid and Hughes listening eagerly. And McDavid, of course, is saying should be 5-on-3. 2 minutes for the delay of game and then 2 minutes for the rough on Carson Soucy, who's the only man seated in the box.
I think
Di Giuseppe was the man who whipped it out of play, so it's probably going to be 5-on-4 at this juncture. I didn't think Bouchard got a piece of that puck. I thought it went cleanly out. But the Canucks, from that standpoint, will get a bit of a break, even though, quite frankly, the same exact play just materialized at the other end, and no penalty was called on Darnell Nurse for popping the helmet off of Dakota Joshua. Now the Oiler penalty box is open. Draisaitl is being ushered in.
Maybe it's 4-4, John. That's what I thought. Oh, wait.
No, it's not.
It's Kane replacing Draisaitl. It is a power.
Yeah, it's a power play for the Oilers. I think there's a 2-2 here.
Chris Knobloch's looking for an explanation.
Hugh Suter is now going to the box. And it is indeed a power play for the Edmonton Oilers. Right now, there's 4-on-4 out there, but I think Hyman's coming on, and it'll be 5-on-4, but with no Draisaitl, it'll be Evander Kane replacing him on the power play. So after all that, the Oilers earn their second power play of the night. McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Hyman, Kane, and Bouchard.
Nugent Hopkins, Jack, 4 of 18 in the face-off circle last game. Needs to win a draw here. Start this power play.
Against Lindholm, who won 14 out of 18 in the face-off circle. But Nugent Hopkins won the face-off, and now you've got Bouchard setting the table for McDavid. Oilers power play, 50% in the postseason. McDavid to Nugent Hopkins. McDavid left circle. Now no Draisaitl on this man advantage. Bouchard, McDavid dialing it up. Nugent Hopkins, cross ice, broken up. Canucks, there was a stick hold. It's a good call. Hyman held the stick of Tyler Myers, and that'll negate it.
Gotta shoot the puck. You get a chance, you gotta shoot it.
So a minute 36 of 4-on-4. And then the Canucks will get an abbreviated power play here with 5:20 to play in the second period. Myers dashed over to ram it down the ice, and Zach Hyman held his stick. So, face-off now to the right of Stuart Skinner. Last time it was a 4-on-4. We saw 2 goals scored in a matter of 23 seconds.
Well, Vancouver will take it all day as to who's in the box for Edmonton. Draisaitl and Hyman. A 50 and 40 goal scorer this year, but Edmonton's top 2 goal scorers in the playoffs.
So a face-off to the right side of Skinner. Off the draw, squirted out. Roenick to Quinn Hughes, and he hit the linesman. Good break for the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins to McDavid. Across the line. McDavid hits Ekholm, the trailer. Wiring, centering, and that went through traffic, and the Canucks will come the other way. Brock Besser down the right-hand side. Does not have breakaway speed. Angles one off the boards to Roenick, and now Quinn Hughes left circle. Tries to twist Nugent Hopkins into a pretzel. Nugent Hopkins stays with him. Centering pass, Besser, and then backing off Roenick. That was conservative from Roenick. Not pursuing the puck. Bouchard up to Nugent Hopkins. Poked free of Matthias Ekholm. Nugent Hopkins whistled it rink wide for Evan Bouchard, and now Hughes is saying, where's the high stick? Bouchard to Ryan McLeod, driving in, shoots, and that rocketed off Shelovs and bounced through Cody Ceci at center. Hughes felt he was high-sticked on the far side in front of the Oiler bench. Darnell Nurse back in his own zone for the Oilers. Ceci tied up with Elias Lindholm. That might have been a follow-through. We'll have to get a second look at it. Tyler Myers comes over to control at center. Lindholm. And now Pettersson in over the line, puts the brakes on top of the right circle. Drops it for Zadorov. Sharp angle shot, save made by Skinner. He's forced to freeze it with 3:49 to go in the second period. And just 5 seconds left in the extra handed out to the Canucks for the delay of game. Hughes on the left-hand side. Oh, I think McDavid might have clipped him with a high stick on a drive-by. Yeah, the Oilers got away with one there. Canucks are not on the power play as of yet. Face-off left side of Skinner.
It's a big draw.
Well, we've seen some missed calls both sides here.
100%.
2-2, 3:49 to go in the second.
Hyman thought he got high-sticked in the end of the first period.
With the Oilers already on a power play. Miller lining up against Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Hughes still lobbying, and we've seen the captains on both teams really working the officials in this game. Knobloch and Tocchet don't have to do it. There's been a lot of conversation all night.
Tocchet was doing it before the series even started. They need this series played 5-on-5. They're making Hughes go off the ice because he's bleeding.
Which, of course, is the irony of ironies. He's bleeding because they missed a high stick in a potential 4-minute power play. And Hughes is furious. So 3:49 to play in period 2. The game tied at 2. Nugent Hopkins against JT Miller. Bob and I privy to the replay. I'm not sure they showed it on the Jumbotron here inside the arena. Nugent Hopkins will dig in. Miller won the face-off cleanly back to Roenick. Put it off Nugent Hopkins, went right to Miller, and then a pass through the wickets of Besser. Suter comes out of the box, and Janmark on the puck. Napa Auto Parts penalty kill is 16 of 17 in the playoffs. Fired down the ice, Ekholm and Desharnais with Janmark and Nugent Hopkins. One last rush for Vancouver. Just 7 seconds on the man advantage. Remember, it was a brief power play. Only about 24 seconds. The Canucks nearly had too many men there. Sent in deep. Ekholm battling with Besser. Now Hyman steps out of the box, so it's all even now. With 3 minutes to go in the period and the game tied at 2. Hughes back on the ice, having had the blood cleaned up. Desharnais slugged it up the right-hand side. No icing. Shelov's out to handle it. He mishandled it. It's loose behind the net. Neither player can get to it. Shelov's still tied up. McDavid, one-timer. Bouchard flipped it. And the Canucks will launch it down the ice for an icing call. Shelov's was caught behind the net without someone to feed it to, and Bouchard flubbed a one-timer. Missed opportunity for the Oilers after a puck misplay by Artur Shilovs, the 6th-round pick out of Latvia in 2019, who carried the Latvians to a bronze medal at last year's World Championship. Hyman, Myers, and Shilovs in a 3-man club sandwich there. McDavid finally dishing off, and Bouchard just couldn't get it on net. Draisaitl won the faceoff cleanly against Lafferty. Kulak to Bouchard. Now McDavid hovering, hitting Kulak back door. Couldn't get a shot away. Canucks one-handed out. Elias Pettersson with Lafferty. Pettersson loads, doesn't shoot. Lafferty, side of the net, tried to bank it off Skinner. That was unsuccessful. Tried to center. That was unsuccessful. Bouchard stole it. Teddy Bluger, wallpapered by Kulak. 2:15 to go in the period. McDavid on to Zach Hyman, and here come the Oilers right to left. Hyman will dump it in. Tyler Myers hit by Hyman, the puck dislodged. Draisaitl to Adam Henrique, the puck punched free. And the Canucks with numbers coming the other way. JT Miller weaving his way in. Bluger muffed it, and it's cleared by Darnell Nurse as Myers dove off the ice to avoid too many men. Zadorov to Miller. Back to Zadorov. Around to Vander Kane. From the corner, fires and scores! Zadorov finding a sliver of space over the right shoulder of Stuart Skinner, and Vancouver has regained the lead 3-2.
Stuart didn't do his homework. Nikita Zadorov scored the exact same goal against Juuse Saros and the Nashville Predators. He came down the wall and shot for a very acute angle, and Skinner got caught cheating. And you got to know what the guy does. That's just a brutal goal, but the point in this is that Zadorov did it against Nashville. Same play.
Zadorov with a goal and an assist for the second straight game. 4 in the playoffs, 7 points. And the late season addition for the Canucks has put the home team up 3-2. Final 100 seconds of period 2, spilled in by Fogle. Canucks now protecting the lead. Last time it held up for all 23 seconds. This one angled up the boards. Joshua staggers over the line. Chipped it too far for Lindholm. Puck comes free and cleared by Kane. Miller, the primary assist on the Zadorov goal. Here's Dakota Joshua. With a minute to go, it's checked by Cody Ceci. Darnell Nurse comes over, plows into Lindholm, takes an extra cross-check for his troubles. Lindholm lost his stick in that altercation. And here's Evander Kane rushing it into the zone with under a minute. Fires sharp angle. That was fought off. McDavid back to Draisaitl. So right now Kane out there with McDavid and Draisaitl. Draisaitl snaps a pass. McDavid, beautiful spin from the slot. Tried to dish off. And Miller with control of the puck. On to Tyler Myers. Canucks with numbers 3-on-2. The trailer Besser in front, bouncing puck. And that was kicked aside by Skinner. Besser after it. 25 seconds left. Dishing off Miller. Thought about the sharp angle. Wasn't there. Bouchard cut him off. On to Matthias Ekholm, and we've got a penalty. Here's a lead pass. Draisaitl, backhander off the rush. A save made by Shilovs. And then Soucy, an extra shot leveled on Matthias Ekholm. This is going to be interference against Vancouver. And the Oilers will be back on the power play here for the final 14 seconds of the second period. Suter angled McDavid into the corner.
You have to do your homework on the goal for Zadorov. And that time, Connor helped draw a call there. Zadorov has become a huge story for this Vancouver.
Literally and figuratively, 6'6".
And he's going to get paid a handsome figure.
And he should. He's a popular guy in the room. Rick Tocchet was talking about, even on the bench, he'll say something that forces him into a smile. He's not smiling now. The Oilers' number one power play out there. Draisaitl beating off the draw. Ian Cole whips it around the boards. And that will probably do it for the second period. 7 seconds. The Oilers await a fresh sheet of ice. A lead pass from Bouchard is off the mark. And I think a whistle went with about a second to go, icing against Edmonton. The Oilers will have 1:46 to begin the third period. I'm assuming they're going to put a second back on the clock here with the score 3-2. The Canucks having outshot the Oilers 10-6 in this second period. So one last face-off, and then we'll head to intermission with the Canucks looking to do what the Oilers could not on Wednesday night, and that's hold a lead entering the third period. And Vancouver had the most wins in the league this year when leading after 2 periods. They were excellent in closing games out.
They can defend.
With 42 wins.
Again, Edmonton's only got 13 shots on goal here, Jack. The Oilers led the NHL in shots on goal per game.
Well, Edmonton's going to have to flip the script in the third period as well in the playoffs for both teams. The Oilers are a -2 in the third period in overtime. They've been dominant in the first 2 periods. Vancouver is a +6 in the third period in overtime. And, of course, scored 3 in the third to win game 1.
There's 2.5 seconds left in the period. It's a D-zone draw for the Oilers. They at least got to neutralize and not give up a shot.
They put more time than I realized back on the board.
Now it's down to 7.
I thought it was more like a 7. Look, it's going to be 1.5. Oilers have 4 stacked in the paint. Lindholm is trying to win the faceoff directly to Miller for a one-timer. And Draisaitl ties him up, and that'll be all. And indeed, we head to the third period with the Vancouver Canucks leading the Edmonton Oilers by a count of 3-2. And I think it's safe to say, Bob, we have arrived at our first gut check time of Edmonton's 2024 postseason. You do not want to be down 2 games to none, even though you would not have lost a home game, considering the Oilers have had good looks and a lot of opportunities, in my opinion, to take the lead in this game. They haven't done it, and now the Canucks get the late goal from Zadorov and put it over Skinner's right shoulder. And Rick Tocchet's club is 20 minutes away from fooling a lot of people who assumed Edmonton might walk through Vancouver.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that's watched the Canucks this season thought that was necessarily going to occur.
Well, a lot of people, Bob, were picking the Oilers in 4 or 5 games. Respected hockey people.
I think we figured it would be a 6 or 7 game series. Edmonton's got some work to do right now in the third to try to get a split here. You know, as Zadorov came down, I'm like, he's going to go short side and he's going to blast it at his head, and he's done it before. I'm going to guarantee you, maybe we'll get Tyler Green to see if he can put the Sportsnet intermission panel on. I bet you they show the goal against Nashville and then show the goal that he scored here, because it's the same play. And that is
Tyler Green, our engineer here on our broadcast booth, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling.
And that's a real, and I got to tell you,
no offense, but the Edmontonians probably don't know who Tyler Green is.
My frustration is that's a pre-scout. You got to know that he's not afraid to take a shot there and make that play. So anyhow, bottom line, the Oilers do have a good power play. They got the power play to start the period.
It could be a tie game with 19 minutes to go.
It's their turn to come and win a game in the third period. It's that simple for the Edmonton Oilers.
And again, it's not been the strongest of periods for the Oilers in the playoffs after being their best during the regular season. Edmonton is actually a -2 in the third period in overtime. Of course, a lot of that changed on Wednesday night when Vancouver got 3 unanswered. And the Canucks, after being a front-running type of team during the regular season, coming into this game, had been a come-from-behind club with 2 multi-goal rallies in the last 4 games after doing it twice in their first 28 playoff years as a franchise, covering 54 seasons. So that's why playoff hockey is different. None of the stats truly matter. So I can tell you that Vancouver led the league with 42 wins when leading after 2, but it matters not. This is the postseason. Oilers will have an Atco power play when we return for the third period. 3-2 our score. Nikita Zadorov, the go-ahead goal. Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey and Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Oilers Radio Network.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit skysignaturesuites.com for details.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com
and click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day. At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Zadorov, Draisaitl, centering. Ekholm shoots and scores, and it's immediate response for Edmonton, tying the game. I was just going to say, you'd love a quick reply here, and the Oilers get it exactly 23 seconds after Vancouver had regained the lead.
All right, the team's trading goals 4-on-4 early in the second period. That was Ekholm getting his second of the series, and you're looking at the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in all games all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. We look destined to be tied going to the third, but then Nikita Zadorov with a goal from, well, almost right along the goal line from the corner. With a minute 43 left, Rob. I mean, look, we see more and more of these, even in the time you and I have done it together, but it can't go in. And Zadorov scored from there against UC Saros, who is a really good goalie as well. But just maddening that went in. Skinner actually made some good saves in that period.
He did.
And then he just completely blows that one.
Yeah, again, to me, a lot of it is just the way goalies are taught nowadays. And we've talked about this. You and I have talked about this for about 3-4 years now. Because about 4 or 5 years ago, players started shooting from bad angles, trying to go top over the glove or actually off the goalie's head. And what happened at one point in the National Hockey League, every team had 1 or 2 guys that are capable of doing it. You'd see the stars on the team try it. Now everyone does. The players in the National Hockey League are so skilled. You have third, fourth line guys. Zadorov was a number 4 defenseman, number 5 defenseman. Everyone's trying it. They can hit that spot. So it's open. Now, despite the fact that is a spot you can go after, it still can't go in. And Zadorov was shooting. There was no other player that he was going to pass the puck to. Ceci, and this is where poor Ceci and Nurse, who have had a tough 5 periods in Vancouver, they're on the ice for that. But Ceci did everything right. He kept Zadorov all the way to the outside. He forced him. He didn't give him a passing lane. And the Zadorov, smart play. I got nothing. I'm just going to throw it towards the net. But you just can't. It can't go in at that time of the game. I'm watching a replay of it now. It was a 2-on-4. So Stuart Skinner, as he's reading the play
all year long.
Pardon me?
A coach, if you told the coach, "Kate, you're going to give up 60 shots on goal tonight, but they're all going to be from along the goal line," you'd be like, "Okay, well,
you'd be happy.
We'll just again go the other way."
Well, and what we've seen, Reed, in this series, these are 2 very evenly matched teams, and the difference in this hockey game or this series might be each night that one big mistake. Well, tonight the big mistake was Stuart Skinner, that goal. Hopefully the Oilers have 20 minutes in a power play to correct that, so that isn't the big mistake that wins the game for the Vancouver Canucks. And they're showing on replay, you're probably seeing it too, Zadorov against Saros. Yeah. The difference between Saros and Skinner is about 8 inches. So there's not as much room, but give Zadorov credit. He put the puck in a smart spot, and Stuart Skinner wasn't able to come up with a save that he probably should have.
No, but again, a frustrating goal against, and like we've always talked about, why would you make yourself smaller if you're a goaltender? And again, as you said, Rob, the argument that goalies and goalie coaches make is, well, we got to push off for the pass. But as you said, there's nobody to pass to there. No,
there wasn't. And the Oilers had 4 guys back.
Yeah.
So the Oilers did everything right there defensively. That one was on Stuart Skinner. So hopefully the Oilers' power play won't allow that mistake to be the difference in this hockey game. But the Oilers' power play needs to come up with a big goal to start this period. The Oilers have gotten some breaks. This is a game that if at the end of the night, they've got some breaks. Connor McDavid should have got a 4-minute penalty. And the penalty at the end of the period against Suter, probably a little weak. So they got to take advantage of the breaks they're getting, and they got a good break at the end of the period. Now they got a fresh clean ice. They got 5 very rested power play guys. They got to take advantage of it, as their power play has done all playoff long.
Yeah, well, I think 3 things for me. The high stick on Hyman should have been called at the end of the first.
Yep.
The McDavid high stick on Hughes absolutely should have been called. And I could understand why the Canucks were mad that the Ryan Höglander wasn't even off. I mean, Ryan slashed him in the testicles.
Yeah, to me, that's 4 minutes. That's a 4-minute slash if you're going there. I mean, you could have called it a spear. They never do, but that's a 4-minute. And the Canucks probably a little upset at the very end of the period when it got ice. McDavid clipped Zadorov from behind as Zadorov was going backwards. That would have been an easy even-up call for the referees. But the biggest one, though, was the McDavid slash to the face of Hughes. I mean, he's cut open. That's when the linesman was there. And if you watch the replay, as Hughes is going to the bench, the linesman kind of grabs Hughes' arm and looks at his face. So the linesman saw it. So huge break for the Oilers, because not only is it a 4-minute power play, but it's your best player sitting in the box for 4 minutes. Hopefully the Oilers are able to take advantage of those 2 breaks. But this is an important 20 minutes. It's not the series if the Oilers lose this game, but it certainly makes the mountain that much higher.
Yeah, then you got to win 4 out of 5, and as I said,
against a good team.
As I said, the season sweep won't be a storyline unless it's a short series in favor of Vancouver, and then if you're down 2-0, you're facing the possibility of a short series. I mean it's tense, Rob, and I was going to say this to you anyway. Even if Vancouver hadn't scored, I think Vancouver is playing a little more desperate than the Oilers. I think they're quicker, I think they're hitting more, and I think they're owning the front of the net. I mean, they're getting deflections, they're getting rebounds. The Oilers aren't really getting that. I think I'm curious if you agree with me or not. You don't have to. I think the Canucks are owning the slot at both ends, and that's the same thing I said about Vegas after round 2 last year.
Well, and a reason you can say that is the Oilers' first line has been excellent. Very, very good in this game. Tons and tons of chances. But then there's a big drop-off. I think you'll agree. The Oilers' second, third, and fourth lines haven't created a whole lot. So when the Oilers' first line isn't on the ice, the Vancouver Canucks team is controlling the front of the net and is controlling the play. The Canucks seem to be a little bit deeper through the forward lines. And the one thing that the Canucks have is some big size on the back end. So in front of the net, they're doing a good job fronting, being physical in front of the net. The Oilers, if they want to win this series, they're going to have to get production from someone outside of the McDavid Draisaitl line, because the Canucks are. So, I agree with you that the majority of the game, so the times when Connor and Leon aren't on the ice, the Vancouver Canucks during those times have played a more desperate game and have been noticed more. I think the Canucks understand what's at stake tonight. A 2-0 lead in this series is huge for the Vancouver Canucks, and they realize that, and the desperation has been huge.
All right, 3-2 Vancouver after 2. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73? the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Grand Prairie County Number 1 has been placed under evacuation order due to a wildfire that is visible from the city of Grand Prairie, which is about 20 minutes away from the evacuation zone. The wildfire is burning about 4 kilometers east of Teepee Creek in the area of Range Road 31 and Township Road 740. The fire, though, is currently moving away from the community, according to the government of Alberta. The evacuees are being urged to register at the Pomeroy Hotel and Conference Center in Grand Prairie. Residents of Fort McMurray and the nearby community of Sapere Creek Estates are being told to be ready to flee their homes on short notice with an evacuation alert in effect there. Alberta Wildfire says an out-of-control blaze burning to the southwest is now about 16 kilometers away from Fort Mac after growing to 10 square kilometers. And the BC Wildfire Service has initiated tactical evacuations for numerous neighborhoods in Fort Nelson as an out-of-control blaze threatens the town in the province's northeast. The service says it's expecting to eventually have to close down Highway 97. News on demand at 630ched.com.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Hockey fans, with a spotless reputation, Scandinavian Building Services is responsible for keeping over 70 million square feet of space clean and safe every day. With over 65 years in the industry, no cleaning challenge is too big or too small. From national retailers and commercial spaces to small offices and entertainment centers like Rogers Place, let Scandinavian take the worry off your cleaning program. Visit Scandinavian.ca to learn more. Scandinavian Building Services. Our reputation is spotless.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
All right, let's check the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Earlier, Panthers over the Bruins 6-2. So Florida leads that best of 7 2-1. Game 1 of the WHL Championship Series. 5 minutes into the third period, Moose Jaw and Portland are tied 2-2. All right, the Oilers trailing the Canucks 3-2 going to the third period. They will have a power play for 1:44 to start the third. Jack and Bob are coming up. It's Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Straining to find the right home? You're going to love this. For a limited time, get back in the game with a free Oiler Fan Cave basement by Coventry Homes. This playoff package includes a free basement, plus an exclusive Oiler Fan Cave, complete with their signature customizable designs and top-shelf finishes at no additional cost. Because flexibility is within reach. Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers.
Edmonton, get ready to meet Traveland RV. The Trailblazer RV location in Atchison is now Traveland RV. Western Canada's trusted name in recreation since 1977. Celebrate our grand opening and find up to 50% off MSRP during our huge liquidation sale. That's right, 50% off. Select in-stock 2022 and 2023 models. Brands you know like KZ, Venture, Brinkley, Rockwood, New Camp, and Northern Light. Edmonton's new name in recreation. Traveland RV in Atchison. TravelandRV.ca. Simply unbeatable.
Power play to start the third period for the Edmonton Oilers as we bring you back inside our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. I'm Jack Michaels. Bob Stauffer to my left. Vancouver 3, Edmonton 2. The Oilers have already rallied to tie this game twice. To do it for a third time, they'd love to convert this power play with a fresh sheet of ice to start the third. Draisaitl between Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman, McDavid and Bouchard, the point men. And here we go with the drop of the puck for period 3 with Vancouver on top 3-2. And off the face-off, Hyman burrowed his way inside of Bluger to kick it back for Bouchard. So it's Edmonton's possession. Minute 46 of power play time to start the third. McDavid saucers back to Bouchard over to Leon Draisaitl. And you can bet the top unit will stay out for the full minute 46 if they require it. Nugent-Hopkins, Draisaitl, Bouchard, McDavid left circle, fires off the post, rebound loose, wraps it up between the legs. He was hesitant to grab that puck, strangely, and so Hyman actually had a chance, but could not pop it home. And by an eyelash, Vancouver's 3-2 lead remains intact.
Oh, McDavid with a great shot. And I'd say Vancouver's gotten a little bit lucky on a couple around the net here, Jack. That could have easily bounced in off the back of Cole into the net.
Draisaitl lining up for the face-off against JT Miller. And some confusion a little bit. Miller's trying to point Zadorov where to go. I'm not sure Zadorov knows where he's supposed to be here. Miller digs in against Draisaitl, and Draisaitl won it back to Nugent-Hopkins. Now McDavid, one-timer Bouchard, and that was deflected wide. Philip Hronek up the boards, but not out. Draisaitl hits Bouchard right point. Then back to Draisaitl, top of the right circle. First minute, third period, Edmonton trailing 3-2, but on the power play. 50% in the playoffs. Draisaitl loading up, curling, McDavid, brief bobble, now wanders out, right face-off dot, Draisaitl point-blank range, centers and tried to cue that one in off of Zach Hyman. It did not work. Hyman to Bouchard, and now Nugent-Hopkins left circle, fires, and that was stopped. Rebound to Hyman. Hyman had it disrupted by Zadorov, coming over to hunt that puck down as Garland, but he could not clear. Bouchard held it in at the line. McDavid trickles free, and then in on net, and frozen by Shelovs. With 26 seconds left in this Atco power play. Atco Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer.
Boy, they are not giving away the shots on goal for free in this game.
Well, you called Vancouver a master of shot suppression. Perhaps that extends to the off-ice officiating crew.
Maybe that's the case.
Bluger against Draisaitl. Oilers relentless. I told you they'd use the full complement of the minute 46 if they needed it. And indeed they do. Draisaitl against Bluger. Another pause draw here. Finally, the puck is dropped. Squirts free. Myers will escape and whistle one up the right-hand side. He actually would have been better off hanging on to that a little bit later than he did. It went off the glass, took a funny bounce to Bouchard in his own zone. He hits the on-rushing McDavid, powering his way across the blue line. McDavid button hooks, tried to give it up. Bluger fell down. He had a chance to clear and might have stepped on the puck. Bouchard's pass, though, off the mark. And the Canucks get it out as they come back to full strength. So the Oilers power play like the Canucks, 1 for 3 tonight. Susie jams it in deep. Höglander down low to Ilya Mikheyev. 3-2 Vancouver. With 18 minutes left in regulation, we're back to 5-on-5. Elias Pettersson behind the Edmonton net. Peers inside. Angles one off the boards. Philip Hronek held onto it. Pettersson in the high slot. Moves it to Hughes. Dances down the slot. A backhander to save made by Stuart Skinner. The rebound, Ryan McLeod. Working through traffic, fished it out to center. Pedersen ambles back in his own zone to collect for Vancouver. Roenick to McKayev, darting down the right-hand side against Kulak. He'll put it behind the Oiler net. Desharnais, the outlet pass. And they're going to wave off icing. For what reason, I cannot fathom.
That was icing.
Canucks with a puck, Ian Cole. Zadorov put one up the boards for Studer, then overran the play, and here's Adam Henry. Right side for Corey Perry, who said it was time for his line to start getting on the score sheet. Perry from Holloway. Desharnais shot, blockered away by Shelovs, and it sails over the glass and out of play with 16:54 left in regulation. The Vancouver Canucks 3, the Edmonton Oilers 2 in Game 2 of this best of 7.
Well, the Oilers got a couple good looks, and Shelovs made the save. Until this point in the series, goaltending has been a factor. Stuart Skinner would tell you that he should have had the 5-4 game winner on Garland's goal, and he's going to be the first to tell you after the game he should have had Zadorov's 3-2 goal late in the second here tonight.
Well, he's hoping he can do that in the glow of victory. Right now his club is down 3-2. Henrique won the draw. Desharnais to Kulak. His shot smothered by Garland. Squeezed down the left-hand side. Dylan Holloway. He's sandwiched by Lindholm. Eventually able to escape, and then Lindholm was able to pry that puck loose and fork it over to Joshua, who rams it off the boards. Back to Garland. Punched back to Holloway by Desharnais. Dylan Holloway sends it in. His dad, Bruce, for 2 games, was a Vancouver Canuck in the early 80s. Dakota Joshua spun it inside the Edmonton line. Corey Perry over to CC. Line change coming for the Oilers. CC, soft chip. Derek Ryan won't get there. Roenick does. Teddy Bluger for the Canucks. Kane, Ryan, and Janmark, the line out for Edmonton right now. Finally, the puck wrestled free by Hughes. Philip Roenick trying to elude the pesky Janmark. Whistles a pass up to Bluger. Turned over. Ryan to Evander Kane. Lays it ahead. Janmark, a backhander and a save made by Shelovs off the run. Rebound Bluger. Now, Hughes lost his helmet again. He's got to change again. Here's a shot from a sharp angle by Janmark. And Hughes' headgear has become rather easily dislodged on more than a couple of occasions tonight. Sent in by Lafferty. Twice his helmet has popped off during the flow of play. And he's labored to get off the ice. Zadorov defending in his own blue line against Hyman. JT Miller skates away from McDavid, finds Ian Cole, and it's punched forward by Brock Besser, then steals an outlet from Evan Bouchard. Checked hard by McDavid at center ice. Connor's dad, Brian, is here for Game 2. And his mom will join them for Games 3 and 4 in Edmonton. Sunday and Tuesday, 7:30 start times. Lead pass Draisaitl misfired, and that will be an icing call as Tyler Myers talking with the officials. Myers is part of a most unlikely brother duo. It's the only one in the history of the National Hockey League and the National Basketball Association. He has a brother named Quentin Grimes, who played for the Knicks and Pistons. He's 10 years younger than Tyler. Now, of course, Edmonton has the NHL WNBA connection with Darnell Nurse and sister Kia. Pedersen. Susie. Laid it down low. Now you've got Höglander trying to sneak it inside. Chipped away by Draisaitl up through center. And now McDavid breaks free. Myers fell down. Breakaway. McDavid scores! Tie game! Myers falling down, and Connor McDavid scores on the breakaway. 3-0 with 14 and a half to go.
A little bit of a cheap play after McDavid got cleaved into the boards, but he's got the game tire.
Myers fell down, and all of a sudden, McDavid was loose, and he scores his second of the postseason. Myers couldn't recover. McCabe couldn't bail him out. And McDavid able to zip one through Artur Shelovs That likely will be unassisted.
Kane and Zadorov having a conversation. They were going at it in the Heritage Classic when Zadorov was playing for the
They were going at it in Game 1, too. And Zadorov, of course, drew a penalty from Leon Draisaitl, kind of a saw-off situation. When Draisaitl came back in Game 1, he immediately cross-checked him in the small of the back, and when Draisaitl chopped him back, both were sent off. Connor McDavid, a three-point night, and his second goal of the postseason has tied the game. Off the draw, Fogle, soft chip into the zone. Ian Cole gathers. Dakota Joshua was checked by Fogle. The puck nudged free. Ultimately, it's Kane who gets it in deep. Zadorov, lead pass, heeled out by Joshua and recovered by Brett Kulak. Joshua, right circle. Gives it up. Zadorov, top of the right circle. He has a goal and an assist tonight. Joshua had 3 points the other night in the Game 1 win. Coughed it up here. Warren Fogle to Evander Kane, and it's sent in deep. Well, Connor McDavid, that's another thing he's improved. How about the breakaway conversion rate over his last 2.5 seasons compared to maybe his first 7? And he zipped that right by Shilovs inside the left goalpost. 3-3 as Di Giuseppe dumps it in for Vancouver. Teddy Bluger in on the forecheck against Ceci, who wallpapers him. Puck chiseled free by McLeod to Darnell Nurse, who now lobs it down the middle, and that'll be settled on a few bounces by Roenick. Turned and flipped it across to Quinn Hughes as we come up on 13 minutes left in regulation. The game tied at 3. And Edmonton has come out and outshot Vancouver 6-1 to start the third period, it must be noted. Canucks Tyler Myers, the GOAT on the game-tying goals. He fell down. McDavid challenged him, poked the puck from him, and spun him into the ice surface. Lead pass right-hand side, Zach Hyman cuts to his left. Bouchard for the lead. Save made, Shilovs. Rebound. Bouchard fires again, left circle. Save made, Shilovs. Rebound to Connor McDavid. Centering pass deflected away by Soucy. McDavid across, fired by Draisaitl. Another save, Shilovs. Oilers peppering the Vancouver net. Besser can't get it out. Suter the steal. And he'll bring it to the red line and jam it in deep with 12:15 on the game clock. Shilovs, a terrific sequence as the Oilers, 2 opportunities for Bouchard and 1 for Draisaitl. Ekholm will be guilty of icing here with a dart down the middle that was untouched. 12:06 left in regulation, and the game tied at 3.
Well, he's been a couple pretty tight games here, Jack, and it was the Canucks rallying in game number 1. Going to be the Oilers rallying here in game 2.
Oilers have outshot the Canucks 9-1 in this third period and tied the game on McDavid's breakaway goal. 2 goals and 14 assists in the playoffs for Connor McDavid. This is Edmonton's 7th game, better than 2 per contest. Höglander off an Edmonton turnover in the neutral zone. Pushes it in left-hand side for Mikheyev. And Ekholm will free the puck up for Vinny Desharnais. Trapped in the corner, Pettersson forces it back down low for Matthias Ekholm. Up the left-hand side, Holloway. He was able to backhand it as far as center, slashing at it and coming away with it. Niels Höglander to Quinn Hughes. In over the line, and he'll tuck it back behind the Oiler net. Brett Kulak to Vinny Desharnais up the right-hand side. The puck exits the zone. Joshua, beautiful right wing feed. Garland fakes the slapper, then tried to slip it in front. And then it eventually bounced off the head of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on a deflection. Joshua to Zadorov. Left point, Quinn Hughes. Spins, and in the high slot, fed Garland. Left circle, wrist shot, deflected, doesn't reach the Oiler net. Garland tried to muscle it back down low, but Evander Kane able to clear. And he took a hard hit to make the play. Quinn Hughes back in his own zone. Zadorov ahead for Garland from center ice. He just gave it away to Leon Draisaitl. And now Connor McDavid will step in. Play is onside, but he was popped by Ian Cole. And the puck knifed over to Zadorov. Advanced through to JT Miller. 10.5 to go, third period. Angled up the board, Suter. Coughed it up to Nurse, got it back, and slipped one through Nurse's stick. Darnell will be first on the puck for Edmonton. Turned it over, and then Suter could not set up Brock Besser, who was perched in front. Soucy across to Myers. He fanned on a wrist shot. It's been a tough third period for Tyler Myers. Draisaitl to Nurse, on to Cody Ceci. Fired by Soucy up to Brock Besser. Left circle, Rick shot. And a save made by Skinner as he tried to beat a blocker aside. Myers defending Zach Hyman. Turned over by Soucy, and Draisaitl skitters his way through the neutral zone. Myers came over, could not get it out. Hyman, a terrific zone keep. But Draisaitl was driven off the puck, and the Canucks are up through center. Sam Lafferty over the line, left wing. Backhander off the post. Wow. Rebound, Hughes. Draisaitl recovered the puck and flipped it towards center. Batted down by Teddy Bluger with 9.5 to play in regulation. Canucks have played 5 straight one-goal games in the postseason. This looks like it could be 6. Here's Joshua in the Oilers zone. Finds an open man, and Roenick took his eye off it. Comes all the way down the ice. Sheloffs will leave it for Roenick. Lead pass, Garland, open left wing. Wrist shot fought off by Skinner and held with 9:13 to play. That's just the second shot of this third period for Vancouver. Much different scenario than played out on Wednesday night when the Oilers had trouble finding shots in the third period. Tonight it's been the Canucks, and the Oilers have forged a 3-3 tie on the McDavid breakaway. We'll be right back. 9 and change left in the third period of a pulsating Game 2 of this Western Conference semi. The Oilers Radio Network.
There's only one line of trucks that's outsold all others for 58 years. Only one with the available Power Boost hybrid engine on select models that delivers performance and efficiency. It's the truck that all others are measured by. You know the one. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Right now, lease the 2024 F-150 STX with black appearance package at 2.49% APR for up to 24 months with 4,800 down. That's just $228 bi-weekly. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Discover the epitome of elegance at Alberta Diamond Exchange, dedicated to crafting unforgettable moments with exquisite jewelry collections for over 2 decades. From stunning engagement rings to timeless wedding bands and anniversary treasures, the Alberta Diamond Exchange commitment extends far beyond I do. Your journey with Alberta Diamond Exchange is not just about jewelry, it's about an unparalleled experience. Check out the Aspen Glen Landing Boutique in Southwest Calgary, and for more information, head to abdiamond.ca today.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Edmonton has proved resilient in Game 2, trailing on 3 separate occasions, but rallying to tie it 3 separate times. The latest on a McDavid breakaway. Draisaitl and Bouchard have since been credited with assists on the scoring play. McDavid's goal coming at 5:27 of this third period. Face off to the right side of Stuart Skinner. Elias Lindholm, a face-off against Derek Ryan. And off the draw, Desharnais will guide it to Brett Kulak up the left-hand side. And here comes Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, gathering steam into the zone. Shielded from the puck by Roenick, but Warren Fogle is on it for Edmonton. Fires a pass, a beauty. Kane shoots off the side of the net. Rebound Hughes with a soft toss up. Kulak misplayed it. Joshua had it, and he lost it. Fogle pushed it ahead for Kane. One-handed off. Kane's stick by Zadorov, and offside will be whistled against Edmonton with 8:42 to play in this third period. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer with you in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth high atop Rogers Arena. Games 3 and 4 will be played Sunday and Tuesday in Edmonton at 7:30 if Game 5 is necessary. And, of course, all Oiler fans hope that's at least what's necessary. Game 5 would be played back here at Vancouver's Rogers Arena next Thursday. The game times in Edmonton will be 7:30. Miller against Connor McDavid in the neutral zone draw, and Miller won that one. Myers up the right-hand side. That'll be icing against Vancouver, so the Canucks immediately. Myers has had a tough third period here. Another icing call now, and with the score tied at 3 and 8:35 to go in the third, face-off will come to the right of Sheloffs. Edmonton has not led at any point tonight.
Oilers have given up 2 goals off of face-off losses in this series. It'd be nice to get one of those back here if you're an Oiler partisan.
Draisaitl lining up against JT Miller. And that's a warning. Miller and Draisaitl tie up off the draw. Hyman won a battle on the left half board. Sent down low at home to Draisaitl. Throws it out. Bouchard back to Draisaitl in the right corner. Now the weaving McDavid. Off the right half boards, fell to one knee, kept it alive, found Draisaitl, deep right corner, then back to McDavid in the high slot. Hustles to the net, left circle, fires, and a save made by Sheloffs, and this time cleanly with no rebound issued. 8:09 to go in the third, but I think most would appreciate McDavid's renewed enthusiasm for shooting the puck. He scored 64 a year ago, had 100 assists this year, but dropped to 32 goals in the regular season, but a vital game-tying goal in this third period. And it's 3-0 with 8:09 left. We're back in a moment with more live third period play-by-play from Rogers Arena, Game 2 of the Western Conference Semi. The Oilers Radio Network.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
Face-off right side of Archer Sheloffs. If you were worried about Draisaitl's health, you needed have been. He's already played 21 minutes, McDavid 22, and there's still 8 minutes left in regulation. Clean face-off win for Elias Lindholm to Sheloffs' right-hand side, but a failed opportunity for Miller to clear, and Bouchard put it back on net. Sheloffs able to make the save, and the Oilers, again, have pumped 10 shots at the Canuck net as compared to just 2 against Stuart Skinner for Vancouver, and as a result, the Canucks' 3-2 lead is gone. It's 3-3 as Draisaitl and McDavid ponder another draw, this one against Miller. Ekholm will line up in the slot. Bouchard higher up, just inside the blue line, and McDavid to Draisaitl's immediate right. And we're going to now see Draisaitl chased out and moved into the slot. McDavid will take the draw. Hyman on the right half boards. Face-off win for Miller. And it's a high floater set up ice by Zadorov. Big bounce, and that turns into an icing call, and Zadorov won't be happy with that. 7:54 to go, and the faceoff comes back into the Vancouver zone. Of course, we've had a couple draws, so it's not like the Canucks are exhausted out there. No. Zadorov admires the pairing here for Vancouver, and that, you're talking about 13 legitimate feet of defensemen. Miller. He's got a broken stick, so he'll retrieve new lumber and take his time in doing so. And then return to take the face-off against Leon Draisaitl. I always thought it would be funny if a guy went over, just leisurely, and they said, oh, sorry, we're out of sticks.
Wouldn't be good for the equipment guy, would it?
No! Miller against Draisaitl. I don't know what you're over here for. I don't have anything for you. Off the face-off. Miller put it behind his own net. Zadorov angles one up the boards. Bouchard tipped it in front. Draisaitl over the net, though. Hyman. Heck of a play by Bouchard. Here's Hyman rolling in front. Chopped it. And there's an opening for Besser to clear, which he does. At the blue line, Bouchard. And Hyman directs one into the right-hand corner, then got powered into the boards by Myers. Zadorov skates the center and sends one tumbling toward the Oiler net. That's fielded on one hop by Skinner. And he'll freeze it with 7:23 to play in the third period. And Vancouver obviously watched the Edmonton-LA series. They're trying to get on Skinner much the way the Oiler fans got on Talbot. And I suppose they've also been watching the national anthem singers. And I don't think I would be labeled an Edmonton partisan by saying it's a 6 out of 10 as far as an imitation of what Robert Clark has brought to the table in Edmonton. And before him, of course, Paul Lorio. I mean, no one doesn't like Edmonton. Sorry. Joshua to the middle of the ice. Lindholm. Now Quinn Hughes couldn't thread one through. Joshua ran into him and thus couldn't get a shot off. And now we had the puck play with a high stick. 7:10 to go in the third. And a neutral zone faceoff upcoming with this game tied at 3, and all of a sudden a slew of whistles.
Yeah, but the Oilers got to get some juice from somewhere other than McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman.
Well, that's an opportunity right here.
That's the problem when you load those guys up. McLeod's got to have his feet moving because he's out with Henrique and Perry.
McLeod, just one goal in his last 26, 3 and 46. Sent in deep by Roenick. Picked up by Ceci in the corner, belted by Lindholm around the boards. Roenick unable to hold the zone. He's had a couple of misplays at the line tonight. Joshua up to Connor Garland. Scored the game winner on Wednesday. Flipped it behind the net, Corey Perry. Steers it to McLeod. The Oilers will bust out. Perry left to right. Put it up the middle. Became entangled with McLeod and Joshua. McLeod emerges from that fray and just drops it off for Nurse. Directed pass to Perry. He's in over the line. And then as he tried to find McLeod, Roenick jumped into a seam, but Perry kept it alive and in the attacking zone. McLeod trying to hunt down a puck against Hughes, who overskated. Hughes able to regain. Perry wrote him down. No penalty was called. And now trying to cover up is Brett Kulak. The Oilers will not let the Canucks leave the zone. Dylan Holloway with spirited work on the half wall. Roenick had it poke checked away by Janmark. He'll backhand it up the wall. And Holloway to Ryan to Janmark off the side of the net. Hughes put it up the right-hand side, and the Oilers a real determined shift here. Kulak to Janmark. Outstanding work by Edmonton. Will it pay off? Hughes on his backhand. Up to McCabe. Holloway squeezed it off his stick. Kulak to Desharnais. He'll put it right back down, and Vancouver can't get out. Holloway with a puck trickling free. Nugent Hopkins against Roenick in the corner. Took him hard against the boards. Roenick trying to battle through. Lost his stick. Then threw it up the right-hand side for McCabe, who failed to get it out. Roenick given another chance. Fired it down the ice, and that's icing against the Canucks. The Oilers Oilers with an outstanding shift, and now they've got their top 5 coming out in Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, Ekholm, and Bouchard. But there you go, Bob. You wanted a positive contribution. Third and fourth line players delivered on those 2 shifts.
Now they've got their smallest defense pairing out here. Granted, Hughes is a guy that can make plays under duress. Leon's got to win a draw against Lafferty, who's 41% in the playoffs.
Off the draw, it squirts free. Bluger sent it off the boards past a leaping Ekholm, and the Canucks will get a change. Bouchard with 5:10 to play in the third period, and the game tied at 3. Remember, the Oilers have not led at any point tonight. Here's McDavid, plowing through traffic, centering. That went through Myers, but untouched. Ekholm to McDavid from behind the net, flipped in front, one-timer save! Rebound, Draisaitl, can't tuck it home! Second chance in front, one-timer! Ekholm had it blocked! Draisaitl wires it around the board. Somehow that puck stayed out. The Canucks can't get it out. McDavid to Ekholm. Showed slapper, keeps it on his stick against JT Miller. Put it behind the net for Draisaitl. McDavid, right circle, back door, tipped away from Ekholm. Myers went down, but it was Miller with the active stick. Here's Ekholm to McDavid. Miller taking a run at him. Forced the puck loose. McDavid stays strong. Threw it across to Draisaitl. Coming off the right half boards. Draisaitl to Bouchard. Loading up. Tried to send it in front. Whacked out of midair. Pettersson has a chance to skate it out, and he will. Blasted by Bouchard. And then Bouchard showing the dive motion. Up the middle of the ice for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Right side for Darnell Nurse. He'll pound it in. Zadorov wrapped up and was able to clear. With less than 4 minutes remaining, Nurse picks up a rolling puck. Kane will shoot it in for Edmonton. The Canucks have been limited to only 2 shots in this third period. It's been a tremendous third for Edmonton. The Oilers have 13. Here's Fogle to Kane behind the net. Another chance for the secondary scoring. Shot, save made. Shelovs on Nugent-Hopkins with 3:30 to go. And that's now 14 shots for Edmonton, just 2 for Vancouver. A dominant third turned in by the Oilers. And we've got a timeout on the ice. Back with the frenetic finish. Threes are wild. 3-3. 3:30 to go in the third. This is Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinal. The Stanley Cup playoffs are on the Oilers Radio Network.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit Rogers.com/5G. That's Rogers.com/5G.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit KeplerAcademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Nugent-Hopkins centering Kane and Fogle. Welcome back inside Vancouver's Rogers Arena. 19,000 to see if the Canucks can take A 2-0 lead. They've had 3 separate leads in this hockey game, but unable to hold them. Tied at 3. Nugent-Hopkins to Nurse. He'll shoot off the end boards deliberately. CC pinches down hard. Came behind the net. Backhand wraparound and a save made. Shelovs, he'll cover with 3:18 to go in this third. The Oilers have been all over the Canucks in this third period. They've outshot them 15-2. They've tied the game on a McDavid breakaway, and now they threaten to take their first lead of the night. Again.
Well, Fogle and Kane, I think, they've been some heavy horses out there, and I've been able to win some puck battles along the boards and along the walls, and then
Nugent-Hopkins has run Roenick's show tonight a couple times. It's been a much more physical game than game one.
Driven the puck to the net.
Nugent-Hopkins wins the faceoff. Nurse again off the end board. Same play to Kane. Coming off the right corner, feeds Cody CC. His shot flutters wide, and Shelovs will freeze it with 3:08 remaining.
They're giving Zadorov a warning for diving right now.
I also think they're warning Fogle. Like, hey, let's settle at 5-on-5. Don't make me throw you guys out. And Zadorov and Kane have also been jostling. Now Edmonton returns the top unit. I wonder whether that extra little fracas might have given Chris Knobloch the impetus to put that top line back out there.
100%.
The extra 10 seconds of rest. Draisaitl, been a horse tonight. Has a goal and 2 assists. Same for Connor McDavid. They've factored in all 3 Edmonton goals. Nothing new in the postseason. Both phenomenal contributors in this era of Oilers hockey. Face-off win for Miller. Soft chip up the left-hand boards. Bouchard holds it in. Vancouver spent the entire period in its own zone. Finally a clear by Ian Cole, but Bouchard will put it right back in for McDavid, who tries to burrow through Miller and frees it up for Draisaitl. And once again, Vancouver defending. Ekholm redirected, and the Canucks are able to nudge it, but only as far as center ice. Edmonton not letting Vancouver breathe. Here's Myers up the right-hand side. Besser looking for Miller. He turns it over at center. Ekholm to Draisaitl. Here's McDavid in over the line. Finds Hyman to the net, and somehow tipped wide. As charging in hard, McDavid holds the zone. Ekholm finally cleared out. McDavid watches Draisaitl. One-timer, Bouchard, and a save made by Shelovs. But once again, the Oilers will not let the Canucks out of their own end. It has been a furious third period from Edmonton, and at this point, Vancouver's had no pushback. Canucks can't even get it to the red line. It's been a tremendous third period effort from the Oilers.
Again, it might be a game that requires a goal from somebody other than McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman.
Well, here's another opportunity. Is McLeod out there with Henrique and Perry. Kulak and Vinny Desharnais. Adam Henrique off the draw with Elias Lindholm, and we'll do it again. And we've had a lot of resets. Lindholm and Henrique to Shelov's left. 2:17 to play. Face-off one. Vancouver again fails to get it out off the zone and off a face-off that they won. Lindholm failed to slip it past Henrique. And now Perry behind the net for Ryan McLeod. Pressure from Roenick, and a shot by Kulak deflected right to Joshua. Finally, the Canucks are out, and Roenick will shoot it off the boards, angled in on Skinner. He'll free it up for Vinny Desharnais up the right-hand side, and now to the zone immediately. Philip Roenick up the left-hand side. Here's Connor Garland. Works his way through Vinny Desharnais, and then is double-teamed down low. McLeod pries the puck free, but does not get it out. Zadorov creates one-timer from distance, and Garland could not get that through. Roenick threw it around the boards. Now Ilya Mikheyev put it back down low. Hughes is going to back off. Desharnais will have a chance to clear, but he was checked hard against the boards, and Hughes keeps it in. Left point shot deflected in front of Skinner, and finally tossed down the ice. And this will be an icing call against Edmonton with 1:12 on the game clock. Third period tied at 3, and now it's the Canucks that will get the matchup they want.
They're going to load up the lotto line here, Jack.
Pedersen, Miller, and Besser with Zadorov and Hughes, I believe. And now Zadorov will be replaced by Tyler Myers.
Massive draw here for McLeod,
who again has been good in the circle for much of the postseason. 3-3 tie. Oilers have outshot the Canucks 16-2 in the third. Miller against McLeod, off the faceoff. Besser to Hughes. Myers juggles, down low to JT Miller. Myers out of the zone for some reason, giving ground, and then trying to force it up the middle for JT Miller. It's been a challenging third period for Tyler Myers. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Takes it from Hughes and then whips a pass too far for Teddy Bluger. Up the middle. Here's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins challenging Myers. Pulls free of that challenge, and from the right corner sets up Leon Draisaitl. Bouchard thought about a one-timer, instead across to Ekholm, who blasted off the inboards, backhander in front, and Shelovs makes the save. Besser took a peek, played it up the right-hand side. Pedersen on to Teddy Bluger. He'll shovel it in with 25 seconds to go. The Canucks want a line change. We're tied at 3. Final seconds of regulation. Matthias Ekholm with possession for Edmonton. Takes a deep breath, and with 15 seconds to go, comes up the ice. McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Draisaitl wait. It's chipped in from the left-hand side. Ian Cole got tied up in the corner, lost the puck at his feet. 2 seconds. Lindholm up the right-hand side, and we will go to overtime for the first time in this series. The Canucks won a clutch Game 4 in Nashville in overtime after rallying from 2 goals down with less than 3 minutes to go. Meanwhile, the Oilers, prior to Wednesday, their only loss in the LA series was an overtime game when Andrei Kopitar beat Stuart Skinner in Game 2 of that series. And in the McDavid era, curiously enough, the record is 3-11 in overtime. And that's what Edmonton will face as they take on Vancouver after a 15-minute intermission.
Edmonton is a really good 3v3 overtime team, but you play 5-on-5 and you need players in depth roles contributing and breaking through. And again,
they got the game tied against the club that led the league with 42 third-period wins.
And now you just put pucks on the net every chance you get. That being said, the Oilers did in the third period. It was their best period of the series.
Yeah, they took a shot away, but it's still 15-2. Magnificent third period. McDavid ties it on a breakaway. And now you look for heroes up and down the lineup. Of course, McDavid ended the Battle of Alberta, and Zach Hyman, a year later, turned the scales in that LA series. Wow. Those 2 goals kind of jump off the page in the McDavid era.
And McDavid and Draisaitl combined into one, and then Hyman just took a shot. And that's what I would say to you, Jack. You never know. Put something on the net. Crash the net. Try to create something, and away we go here. It should be a beauty.
McDavid beating Shelov's blocker side to force overtime. That goal coming at 5:27 of the third period. He and Draisaitl each with a goal and 2 assists. Matthias Ekholm, the other goal for Edmonton. For Vancouver, Pedersen, Besser, and Zadorov. 3-3. We've settled nothing. 60 minutes of regulation complete. Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown on the other side. This is Four Dealers NHL Hockey. Game 2 of the Western Conference Semi has required overtime on the Oilers Radio Network.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brant is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brant today. Find out more at BrantJobs.com.
The Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Chipped away by Draisaitl up through center. And now McDavid breaks free. Myers fell down. Breakaway. McDavid scores! Tie game! Myers falling down, and Connor McDavid scores on the breakaway. 3-0 with 14 and a half to go.
And that was the only goal of the third period. And it's the highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. It is 3-3. Game 2, Oilers and Canucks. We are going to overtime. The shots on goal in that period, Rob, 15-2 for the Oilers. By far their best period of the 6 so far in this series.
Yeah, and I know that the Oilers got the goal from their regular players. It was a Connor McDavid breakaway goal. But for the first time probably in the series, the Oilers got momentum from second and third and fourth lines. When Connor and Leon came on the ice, it was usually when the puck was already in the offensive zone because the line before them had kept plays alive or forced an icing or forced the goalie to make a save, and they had the face-off in the offensive zone. So the advantage that the Canucks had through the first 5 periods where the ice tilted when Connor and Leon went to the bench, it wasn't there in the third period, and that's why you had a period where the Edmonton Oilers completely tilted the ice and are very unfortunate to have to be going into overtime right now because they probably had 4 or 5 grade A scoring chances that you thought were going to go in the net. Give credit to a desperate Canuck defending team and a very good goalie in Sheeloff who was excellent in that third period.
Yeah, he was tested and he came through in that period for sure. And now we go into overtime, Rob, and we know the stat since McDavid and Draisaitl have been on the team. The Oilers 3-11 in playoff overtime, and also playing a Vancouver team. We talked about it after the last game. I had their play-by-play voice, Brendan Batchelor, on the Face-Off show, and already, and I think you and Bob talked about, Vancouver already has these dramatic, even a couple somewhat unlikely wins in the postseason. So, to me, it's an advantage Canucks going into overtime, quite frankly.
Well, I don't know if it's an advantage when you got Connor and Leon on your team, but I can tell you this. The Canucks are very excited to be going into overtime. They were trying to survive that third period. It was like they had this speed train coming at them, and they were just dodging it left and right. They couldn't find a way to get going in the opposite direction. So they survived that to allow themselves now to regroup and get a little bit of rest and find some energy, because in the third period, it didn't look like they had energy at all. And they actually take a bit out of the Vegas Golden Knights defending mode in their own zone. They don't chase. There'll be times where Connor or Leon or Nuge or someone will be standing on the boards, and you won't see a Canuck go at them. They'll just kind of stay in a little diamond in front, and they're just clogging up the middle. But if the Canucks want to win this game, they're going to have to be a little more offensive, because if they spend the entire overtime period in their own zone, I don't care how good this goaltender is, something eventually is going to sneak past them. So this was as good as the Oilers have played, possibly in the playoffs. That was a fantastic third period, and unfortunate for them to right now not have a victory and have to go into the next goal wins, which, as we know, anything can happen.
It was 1-1 after 1. It was 3-2 Vancouver after 2. It is now 3-3 after 3. We'll check your out-of-town scoreboard when we get back. Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
If you bleed orange and blue, feel the pulse of the Oilers with 630 CHED, the official voice of your Edmonton Oilers. Keep it dialed right here for every game. Down the left wing, he'll shoot. And every goal. Score! Featuring the phenomenal team of Jack Michaels, Cam Moon, Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, and Rob Brown. Catch all the thrilling moments and post-game excitement only on 630 CHED, where Oilers passion comes to life.
No one deserves to be a victim of domestic abuse. We know it can be difficult to leave, and many suffer in silence. But everyone has the right to live without fear, hurt, abuse, and violence. Right now, women's shelters throughout the province are open and ready to help you get back on your feet. If you or someone you know are suffering, it's time to speak out now and get the help you deserve. For help, visit acws.ca or call 911.
Every month, I give the gift of sight. By donating to Operation Eyesight, an organization working to restore and preserve vision in the developing world, I help prevent blindness. I know that every month, I've helped another person see again. It's a great feeling. Won't you share that with me? For a donation as small as $30, you can restore a blind person's sight. Together, we can change lives. To learn how to give the gift of sight, please visit operationeyesight.com.
With Global News, I'm Thomas Dias. Residents of Fort McMurray and the nearby community of Sapere Creek Estates are being told to be ready to flee their homes on short notice. Alberta Wildfire says an out-of-control blaze burning to the southwest is now about 16 kilometers away from Fort Mac after growing to 10 square kilometers. A wildfire there in 2016 destroyed roughly 2,400 homes. And now comes word that Grand Prairie County number 1 has been placed under evacuation order due to a wildfire that is visible from the city of Grand Prairie, which is about 20 minutes away from the evacuation zone. The wildfire is burning about 4 kilometers east of Teepee Creek in the area of Range Road 31 and Township Road 740. The fire, though, is currently moving away from the community, according to the government of Alberta. The evacuees are being urged to register at the Pomeroy Hotel and Conference Center in Grand Prairie. News on demand at 630ched.com.
Stay connected with 630 Ched via your smart speakers. It's as easy as telling your favorite virtual assistant, play 630 Ched. Listen in on smart speakers and stay informed throughout the day with up-to-the-minute news, talk, sports, and more. 630 Ched.
Hey parents, do you work in downtown Edmonton? Childcare is hard to find, but at Kepler Academy, inside Sun Life Place, we still have some space for children 12 months to 6 years old. Located at 101 23 Hull Street, Kepler Academy Sun Life Place is an award-winning early learning and childcare provider, voted Edmonton's top choice for 4 years in a row. Visit kepleracademy.ca. Mention this ad and your registration fees will be waived.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
At the Intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
All right, it's time to check the Pizza 73 scoreboard. Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. The other NHL game tonight, it was Florida getting a convincing 6-2 win over the Boston Bruins. Panthers out shooting the Bruins 33-17, so Florida leading that best of 7 2-1. In the Western Hockey League, St. Albert's Matthew Savoy with the game-winning goal for Moose Jaw. They win on the road 3-2 against the Portland Winterhawks. The Warriors had a 2-0 lead. Portland came back to tie it, and then Savoy getting the winning goal with 3:02 left in the third period. So game one of the dub final goes to Moose Jaw. Blue Jays lost 3-2 to the Minnesota Twins. Basketball tonight, Nuggets over the Timberwolves 117-90. Minnesota up 2-1 in that series, and the Pacers won at home 111-106 against the Knicks. So 2-1 series lead for the Knicks there. Pettersson and Draisaitl on the power play in the first. Then early in the second, Besser and Ekholm exchanged 4-on-4 goals 23 seconds apart. Zadorov from a really bad angle. Tough one for Stuart Skinner to give up late in the first period. And then McDavid on a breakaway, 5:27 into the third. It's 3-3. We're going to overtime with Jack and Bob on the call. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the Intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Back here for the start of overtime, our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. The score 3-3. Game 2 of this Western Conference semifinal does require overtime. At no point tonight has Edmonton led. The Oilers tied the game on 3 separate occasions. Pettersson opened the scoring 4 minutes in with a power play goal. Draisaitl tied it midway through the first period. Opening minute of the second period, Besser scored 4-on-4 on a beautiful tip. 23 seconds later, Ekholm tied it on the same 4-on-4. And then Zadorov gave the Canucks a 3-2 lead heading into the final 20 minutes with a goal over the right shoulder of Stuart Skinner. Vancouver had won a league-high 42 games when leading after 2 periods, but the Oilers dominated the third, outshot the Canucks 15-2 and tied it on a McDavid breakaway. McDavid and Draisaitl have a goal and 2 assists, and they both played north of 25 minutes through 3 periods. And now we settle this one in OT with McDavid starting overtime, Draisaitl and Hyman alongside, Ekholm and Bouchard, Skinner in the pipes, right to left, and here we go. The puck is dropped and overtime underway. Vancouver won its only prior overtime game in this playoffs. Edmonton lost its game 2 at home against LA. Ekholm checked on a dump in, and the Oilers clear down the right-hand side. This may be an icing, and there's the whistle. 16 seconds into overtime. A face-off will come to the right side of Stuart Skinner.
And again, Vancouver has scored 2 goals off of ozone face-off wins.
They're going to move it to the circle left of Stuart Skinner, and Lindholm will take it on his strong side.
And face-offs are even in this game. 50% both teams through 3 periods.
Oilers outshot the Canucks 28-17 through regulation. The Canucks out-hit the Oilers 39-25. McDavid off the draw, won by Lindholm, but Bouchard out-muscled Garland for the puck, and it was cleared by Ekholm up the left-hand side. And now Bouchard fires a strike to Draisaitl's left wing. He enters the zone. Shelovs fields Draisaitl's wrist shot from the half wall flawlessly, and a face-off awaits to his right. But just what you were saying, Bob, why not throw it up there, especially on the glove hand, which has not been absolutely stable for Shelovs. He's dropped a few already in this series.
Well, you also got yourself an ozone draw here.
Nugent Hopkins between Fogle and Evander Kane. He'll dig in. Lindholm this time with an offensive zone draw. 32 seconds into overtime. Face-off win Lindholm. Cole put it behind the net. Zadorov late getting there. Kane put it a little behind Warren Fogle. Cole on his backhand up the right-hand side. Canucks try to muscle it out. Garland hacking and whacking. Kane overpowered him. And now the Canucks finally get it back to the red line. Nurse finds a wide open Cody Ceci, and he'll swing it in deep. Ian Cole trapped by Fogle. And now a lunging Nugent Hopkins kept it alive for Fogle to the net and couldn't get a backhander cleanly away. Garland scampers down the left-hand side and makes sure to get it in deep. Edmonton just came off a period in which it dominated Vancouver. Zadorov had his own blue line to Garland right wing. He centers off the pads of Skinner and right to Warren Fogle in the circle. He'll clear. Too far for Ryan McLeod. Chip free, and now it's Elias Pettersson in with Hoglander. Checked by McLeod. Excellent work by Ryan McLeod, not letting Pettersson get a shot away, and it's lifted off the boards and out by Evander Kane as Tyler Myers at 6'8" locates the puck in his feet. Up the right-hand side for Pettersson. Swiftly shot right back down the ice by Kulak, and not far enough to draw an icing call. Good touch from Kulak. Enrique pressure on Myers up the left-hand side. McCabe did not get a touch, and that's an icing call. And that one not really Myers' fault, but McCabe couldn't get a puck touch, and now Edmonton loads up with Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman, Ekholm, and Bouchard a chance to win it. 2 minutes into overtime with an offensive zone face-off against a portion of Vancouver's fourth line. They've got Pettersson, McCabe, and DiGiuseppe out there. Soucy and Myers. McDavid won the face-off. Ekholm threw it around the board. Soucy dashes over. Draisaitl looking to protect. Put it to the middle. And McCabe will skate it out successfully. Sent down the ice. Bouchard grabs it for Edmonton. Fires a dart to Zach Hyman, left wing. Dropped it off for Leon Draisaitl. Gliding behind the net. Draisaitl sets up Bouchard. Right point. Slap shot wide. Rebound. Hyman on his backhand. Couldn't get it away. Hughes tied him up and escapes with puck possession for Vancouver left to right. Canucks in the blue, the Oilers in the white. Ekholm knocks it down. Hughes Suter could not get it in deep. Now it's muscled free, and Besser engaged with Bouchard in the corner. Worked up the boards. Roenick again unable to handle it at the point. And here's Draisaitl with Zach Hyman. Hughes on him. Draisaitl already 3 points in this game. Playing hurt. He and Hyman have the puck lodged against the half wall. Roenick trying to free up his stick for a clear against Hyman, but instead it's Draisaitl out to Kulak. Shot! Saves Shelox. And he'll squeeze it. Face-off coming to his right with 3 minutes having elapsed in overtime, and the game tied at 3. Nothing like overtime hockey. Not in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sorry. There is nothing like it in the world of professional sports.
You could see the Oilers basically using 3 lines here, maybe 10 forwards. Don't know how much we'll see of Holloway.
Well, Derek Ryan was just on the ice.
Yep. He was the one guy on the fourth line that's been out there.
Off the face-off, Zadorov angles one up the left-hand side, safely out. Desharnais tried to chip it in. Dakota Joshua coughed it up. And then on second effort, he's able to muscle his way through and send one ahead to Garland, a backhander, and that was shouldered aside by Skinner. That was ticketed for roughly the same spot that Zadorov put it. Here's a dish to Garland again from Joshua, and this one broken up by Brett Kulak, directing traffic for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Fires one up the gut for Warren Fogle against Zadorov. Hammered against the boards, and now Kulak checked. The puck freed up. Fogle in front. It bounced free in the slot. Grabbed by Kulak. Open as Nurse. Shoots! And that one off a skate in front. Kane fires off the side of the net. Teddy Bluger with Evander Kane draped all over him. Chips it up the left-hand side for Garland. He was able to pitchfork that puck deep into the zone. Bluger gathers, trying to protect against Darnell Nurse. He's pinned along the end boards. Canucks and Oilers grappling for puck possession. 4 minutes into overtime. Knotted at 3. finally, it's Lafferty who comes away with a puck against Cody Ceci. Double team by Derek Ryan, and Janmark backhands it out to center.
Kane's got to get off the ice. He's had a long shift.
And right on cue, he does. And here comes Dylan Holloway with a steal at center ice. So Chris Knobloch has used all 12 forwards, but it's turned over by Ryan at center. Lafferty up the right-hand side. Miller dishing and then spinning, but Pettersson could not free himself against Ekholm. And his countrymen up the left-hand boards for Ryan McLeod. Pestered by Miller. McLeod dashing toward the net. Pulls up in the corner and then freed up for Ekholm. Behind the net, Dylan Holloway. What a moment for Dylan Holloway. Ekholm over to Bouchard. Fires, and that off the glove of Sheloff's awkwardly. Here's Holloway, right circle. Moving it, and it's Matthias Janmark. Canucks defending here. Janmark and McLeod. Good shift for Edmonton. Ekholm right point off the boards. Disrupted by Soucy. Soft chip over to Tyler Myers, and the Canucks left to right will break it out. Pettersson bobbled at center, then recovered and shot it in deep. The Canucks won a line change. Skinner will leave it for Ekholm, and now McDavid's away in full flight. Dashing down the middle. Chips it over to Draisaitl. Down the right half boards. Bouchard stepped in and then shot it tipped home. Evan Bouchard let fly, and Edmonton has taken Game 2 in overtime.
A lucky break for the Edmonton Oilers. A fortuitous deflection redirection. A 4-point performance if it's Bouchard's goal for McDavid and Draisaitl. And perhaps a deserved end result. The Oilers out shooting Vancouver 30-19. 17, Jack, to 4 in the last period and a half.
So we
got to see a replay here. McDavid gets his own entry. Draisaitl with speed as well. Filters a pass to Leon. He butt-knocks, hits the trailer, and the shot was deflected.
Right off Ian Cole. It's Bouchard's goal. And it's an overtime winner right off Ian Cole and into the net. And Cole couldn't have deflected it in more perfectly if he had tried. Just came right to Cole and off the toe of his stick and behind Artur Sheloff's. And Evan Bouchard has won Game 2 in overtime.
What are we talking
at 5:38?
What are we talking about? Just put pucks on the net. You never know what happens. You never know what ends up happening.
Bouchard's second of this postseason and the 9th of his career. And McDavid and Draisaitl, as Bob mentioned, will finish with matching totals of a goal and 3 assists. We're now joined by Evan Bouchard. And Evan, congratulations. How's it feel to score an overtime winner in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. We played hard all game, got rewarded for it.
Never a bad thing to put it on the net. You never know what's going to happen, and maybe you deserve that just based on how much territorial play you had, Evan, in the third period. Evan, did we lose you?
Hold on for Leon.
Oh, we're going to pivot to Leon. Okay.
Leon, thanks for joining us. A tremendous effort, a dominant third period, and it kind of carried into overtime. Tell me about the approach in the third, because the Canucks had trouble just getting it even to the red line.
Yeah, I think we found our legs in the third there. And, obviously we're a fast team when we find our legs and when we get going. So thought we overwhelmed them a little bit in the third there, and obviously tried to carry that into overtime. And, sometimes you need a bounce in overtime, of course. So great play by Butchie.
You guys really elevated, but you got your best players got to be your best players, and you and Connor were going, and I know you wanted to further praise to the rest of the guys, but this is what you play for, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's best time of the year. It's fun. It's stressful at times, of course, but it was a great all-around effort from everyone, and excited to come home to Edmonton.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. A great atmosphere here in Vancouver, but now you win this game in OT, and you've talked about it. Sometimes winning one in OT gives you a little bit lift, and I imagine you've got 18,000 people waiting to continue that momentum for you on Sunday night.
Yeah, absolutely. We know the crowd's going to be rocking. So, yeah, all you need to do is win one game on the road, and we did that. Obviously, they're a good team over there. They know that we're a good team, so it's been a good series so far.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you.
Leon Draisaitl with a goal and 3 assists tonight, furthering his reputation as one of the toughest Stanley Cup performers. Not just one of the most productive, and he's on a historical list. In fact, off the top of my head, I believe only Wayne Gretzky has more points per game in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs than Leon Draisaitl. But the difference is Leon Draisaitl did it on one leg in 2022, and I think it's fair to assume he wasn't close to 100% tonight. It didn't matter. He was there for his club. He played north of 26 minutes, and he set up the game-winning goal in overtime.
Well, we sat there and talked about the fact that the Oilers got to get something from someone else in the lineup, Jack. As we go back to Edmonton, they got to get something from someone else in the lineup. But when you have two all-world players like McDavid and Draisaitl who are sitting there, Leon, again, you're bang on. Leon and Connor now moved ahead of Mario Lemieux in points per game all-time in playoffs. It tells you everything. Nobody could ever accuse those two guys of not stepping up and showing up. And, I remember we were in L.A. after game number 6, the morning before we were going to fly that day. We saw Leon come out of the training area at the hotel, and we looked at each other and we're like, I don't know if he's going to be. And he looked at you and me and goes, what? I'll be in. And you knew today when he did the availability, he was blank and playing. That's all there is to it. Robin.
I knew when I went to sleep on Wednesday night. He was
Robin Brownlee, who's since passed away, used to say that former Oilers captain, the Gator, Jason Smith, who captained the team in 06, had the pain threshold of a cadaver. Leon Draisaitl is right there with him. And Gator would be the first guy to admit to that. And that was just a brilliant performance from those two players. They carried the Oilers tonight. Edmonton's going to need more to beat back. No, that's it.
They outshot him 31-19.
They outplayed them. They deserve.
They dominated the last 25 minutes of this game. No question about it.
No question.
So, moving forward into games 3 and 4 now at Rogers Place, how does this home ice advantage potentially favor Edmonton? Because you're not going to, if you're Rick Tocchet, you're not going to have JT Miller and Elias Lindholm on the ice against the McDavid line any which way you want it.
Well, I did think we saw some good things tonight from Nugent Hopkins at center. I didn't mind him, and he's obviously from, Vancouver, from Burnaby, and so
he's had a productive playoffs. He's got 9 points in 7 games.
If you take away his first playoff year, 16-17, when he had 4 points in 13 games, he's ahead of a point per game all time in his NHL career. So, and Nuge, he took a couple penalties early, but he battled through this game. And the Edmonton Oilers, again, I got to reiterate the point. They got to get something else from somebody in one of the, either Kane's got to break through, Nuge has got to break through. McLeod didn't shoot the puck coming down the left side. Bouchard did. Never a bad thing in overtime to shoot the puck. They got a fluky deflection in off of Ian Cole. They probably deserve that. I mean, you take a look at the couple of goals Vancouver scored game 1, and you know what else happened? It's a small thing. And Vancouver didn't get a lot of shots. But Stuart Skinner, he'll tell you, I gotta have that goal against the Dwarf. How many more shots Vancouver get the rest of the game?
Well, they got 4. 2 in the third and 2 in overtime.
So, I mean, it's just, when you think about it, he's gonna have a chance. It's a learning lesson for him again. There's probably been a couple too many over the last 2 games. Doesn't matter. They got the split. That's all they could do tonight, was to get the split in tonight's game. They got to be better on home ice on Sunday night. They're going to need the crowd to help rally them. But what did Leon say? We got to our game in the third period in overtime.
Well, no question. I mean, the Canucks had trouble even getting to the red line in the third period in overtime. So, in any event, the Oilers celebrate a 4-3 overtime victory in Game 2 of this Western Conference semifinal, which is now even up at a game apiece in the best of 7. Stuart Skinner will get the win. He stopped 16 of 19 shots, and Artur Shilov's, the loser, stopped 27 of 31. The story, McDavid and Draisaitl just putting Edmonton on its collective back. A goal and 3 assists for both players. Ekholm with a regulation goal, and Bouchard, the one that wins it in overtime as he banked it off Ian Cole at 5:38 to send Edmonton home with a split. And now games 3 and 4 at Rogers Place. Those will be 7:30 game times on Sunday and Tuesday. Bob and I will have them both, and it also ensures that we'll be back here for Game 5 at Rogers Arena. That's next Thursday, time to be determined. So just to set the series up for you. So Sunday night's Game 3, one team will take a 2-1 series lead, and that's because Edmonton prevails in Game 2, 4-3 in overtime. We'll talk to you Sunday, a 7:30 start at Rogers Place. Until then, for Bob Starr, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Rogers Arena in Vancouver. The final in overtime. Evan Bouchard wins it 4-3 for the Edmonton Oilers. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers Postgame Show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Dashing down the middle, chips it over to Draisaitl. Down the right half boards, Bouchard stepped in and then shot it tipped home. Evan Bouchard let fly, and Edmonton has taken Game 2 in overtime.
That's the Century Casino Highlight Zone, all in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the winner's zone. Oilers win. Bouchard, GWG, NOT. McDavid and Draisaitl, 1-3 and 4. Edmonton wins 4-3. We're tied 1-1. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Proudly headquartered in Edmonton, Capital Power is powering change by changing power. Be part of the energy and join Capital Power in cheering on our Edmonton Oilers. From Ice District and across oil country as they chase another championship banner. Visit capitalpower.com to learn about how they're delivering reliable and affordable power for communities today. And
better team in the first game, got the bounces they needed, and tonight the Oilers were the better team. They stayed with their game plan. And one of the things that Reed and I talked about at the end of the third period before we went into overtime, the Oilers got, not on the score sheet contributions, but they got momentum contributions from lines 2, 3, and 4. in the third period, it wasn't just when Leon and Connor were out there. The second line would come out, keep the play in the offensive zone, then the third line, and they were forcing the Canucks to ice the puck, which allowed the Oilers to get their best line out there. They forced shots on net, so then they could, again, get face-offs in the offensive zone. So for the first time in the series, the first time in 6 periods, the Oilers' depth players came to play and were very noticeable, because in the first 5 periods of this hockey game, or this series, the Vancouver Canucks depth players were better, not in the third period of this hockey game.
Rob, it's never a bad thing to put the puck on the goal, is it?
No, it's not, and you continue to do it. I mean, look at the weird goals that have happened so far in the playoffs, not just in this game or this series, but between the Oilers and the Kings, the number of weird goals. Then tonight, the one that went in on Skinner, and I like Ian Cole. I think he's a very serviceable third-pairing defenseman, but he is having an absolute nightmare of a series. In Game 1, there was a too-many-men penalty. He missed a pass coming across. He passed the puck right behind the net to Leon for a goal. I mean, he just went, one puck went off his side and went in the net. It just, everything that seems to go wrong is going wrong for him. And tonight, I have no idea why he has his stick where it was when the puck goes in and off the shot from Bouchard. Ian Cole's got to turn and pick up a man. If he turns and picks up Zach Hyman, puck goes through, there's no problem. So smart play by Bouchard. Ian Cole, a veteran player, he cannot make that play. And the one thing we saw tonight too, you talked about Skinner bouncing back, didn't have to make a lot of saves after the odd goal went in, but we saw on the other end, Shilovs, he was fantastic.
He played great.
It was a good choice by both coaches to give their starters another opportunity, because I think both goalies came through with saves when they needed them.
Rob, I want to race downstairs here for some posties, so thanks for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Sounds good, Bob. Smart
Play of the Night brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's the smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shop. Wow. The smart move. You can't ask for anything more than your best players to lead you. And that's what happened. McDavid and Draisaitl again. The numbers are ridiculous come playoff time. Yes, Edmonton needs more support throughout the lineup. Yes, Stuart Skinner would like one more saves. But at the end of the day, when you have those two guys out there, anything's possible. Edmonton wins 4-3 in overtime. Series tied 1-1. Rogers Postgame Show.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. One driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. Smoking weed affects reaction time and concentration. A message from Mad Canada.
This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Let's go to the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Florida Panthers absolutely annihilate Boston 6-2. They've shelled them in back-to-back games. They're up 2-1 in that series. That game was in Boston. Tomorrow, the Rangers looking for the sweep in Carolina. They would have back-to-back sweeps. No surprise against Washington. Big surprise against the Hurricanes, who are a well-coached, good team. Albeit a team that plays man-on-man defense. sometimes I think those teams get picked off as the season goes on, playoffs go on. Dallas and Colorado, it's been an unbelievable series. Whoever survives this Edmonton-Vancouver series, they're going to be playing a real team out of the Central Division. It's tied 1-1. They're going to Colorado tomorrow night. That's an 8 o'clock puck drop. Western Hockey League, James Steffen, who the Oilers signed out of the Portland Winterhawks. The Portland Winterhawks lost game 1 of the WHL final at home tonight to the Moose Jaw Warriors, 3-2. I can't remember the last time Moose Jaw won a WHL title. I don't know if they ever have. I will have to look that. In fact, I don't think they have. So I'll have to look into that here for Sunday. Here at Rogers Arena, the Edmonton Oilers were down 3-2. In the third period, 5 minutes in, McDavid broke in on a breakaway, tied it. The game went to overtime despite the Oilers firing away a ton of shots in the third period to the tune of 15-2. The Oilers got 3 in OT, and they ended up winning it. The final score on an Evan Bouchard, a little bit of a lucky break off of Ian Cole's skate and stick. Edmonton wins 4-3. The series is tied 1-1. And this is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Dive into the heart of your city of champions on 630 CHED with Midday with Courtney Terrio. Tune in to experience true Edmontonian, a special feature celebrating the unsung heroes, community builders, and everyday champions who help shape our vibrant city each and every day. Join the conversation every weekday from noon to 2 only on 630 CHED and discover the stories that help define our great city. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
The future of animals everywhere is at risk. In the last 40 years, over half of the world's animal populations have disappeared. Biodiversity is in crisis, and we need to do something now to reverse this alarming trend. Earth Rangers knows that no one cares more about animals than our children. And by providing them with the tools and the inspiration to take action, kids can make a real difference to the survival of wildlife. Already, thousands of children across Canada are joining forces as Earth Rangers to help protect animals and their habitats. To get your child involved or to make a donation, please visit earthrangers.com.
Let's go to the Molson Cup 3 Stars, presented by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name on it. Third star tonight. What a story. He's been coming for Vancouver. Nikita Zadorov with a goal and an assist. No surprise who the top 2 stars in this game were. You could have given to either one. Leon Draisaitl was selected second star, playing hurt, goal and 3 assists. Tonight's first star with a goal and 3 assists. Connor McDavid, Evan Bouchard in his support role, a goal and assist, including the winner in OT. Edmonton is even the series, and they've beaten the Canucks for the first time this season, and now we go back to Edmonton. 7:30 on Sunday night. For my play-by-play partners this season, Jack Michaels has got the call of all the games in the playoffs. Cam Moon, who worked 65 regular season games with me. Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott. Studio producers this year, Kellen Kennedy at the helm tonight, and Angie Quinnell. Ace engineer, Tyler Green, who's stuck working with me next Thursday for about 8 hours, 9 hours. Bob Stauffer saying so long, everybody, from Rogers Arena. The Oilers rally and tie the series 1-1. Bouchard in OT.
The Rogers Postgame Show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Molson, whether it's Canadian, Ultra,